Yo. It's Grapsody with Will, Phil, and Reg, trying to keep it real instead of what you usually get from these talking heads. It's Grapsody, we're here to fill the void. 3 black fans, different perspective, got to fill your voice. Coming with the podcast, talking majors, indies in between. Yeah, it's all that, and we're down with Fightful, better fall back. Coming for respect, we connect like a ball bat. No need to double check, these are all facts. You're listening to us talk raps. You're listening to us talk raps. Will, Phil, and Reg. Yeah, we're Grapsody, here to talk raps. Yeah, we're Grapsody, here to talk raps.
Welcome. It is I. It is he. This is Grapsody. I'm Phil Lindsey. Righteous Reg in the building. Yeah, I feel like there was like a solid 10 minutes where we were just sitting here because I was responding to something that friend of the show, Washington, said on Twitter, and I got immediately excited because the both of us have been praising the same record. I'm like, nah, that might be best song of the year.
Yes, it's your favorite rapper, your favorite writer, your favorite podcaster. Phil and I got distracted with hip hop talk for like 10 minutes. We just delved into things we usually do to start this podcast, and it's just so fun to be able to talk about these things and topics of the week that are absurd usually on Twitter. Like Hove is not a great rapper, but you know, I digress. It's just, we're here Saturday morning, Grapsody podcast. Very excited to be here. It's another one, 201. What a time to be alive. What's up with you, Phil?
Yeah, minimal return of BTE. That's a thing.
What happened?
I haven't seen that.
What BTE? Being the elite?
Yeah, can you feel me in? I don't know what you're talking about, bro.
Shout out to y'all. That's funny. We're talking about Lupe. He released EP to the Earl. I'm like, yo, there's a lot of good music that came out yesterday.
Earl in his happy bag. It was very funny. Earl in his not depressed bag and his I'm happy. I have a beautiful girlfriend and a baby on the way. Yeah.
When they announced the album title, I thought it was a joke. I'm like, Live, Laugh, Love. What do you guys? This isn't like a Bed Bath and Beyond thing or something. Like, I don't even understand what's going on. And then they were like, oh, it's serious. And like, people are like, there's been an album listening party and all this stuff. And so you get to the album and it's just like, oh, it's classic Earl because it's introspective. He's always kind of like deep in that bag. But now he's just like, I got a wife and kids to live for and to make money for and to do my thing for. But it's still like great bar. So it's interesting where we've came in the last, when did Doors drop? 2013. In the last 12 years in Earl's career and where he was then and where he is now. Life is wild, Phil.
Yeah, happy for him, man. As somebody that listens to a lot of depressed emo black rappers, as a depressed black man, I appreciate where he is in life as a very happy person, and it's a good place to see him, man. He deserves it.
Definitely deserves it. Went through, if you know the Earl story, he's been through some stuff. Still talks a lot about his dad, so I know that dad trauma is just some shit, man. Those guys, those are such guys. He talks very deeply about his father and his relationship and what he wants to be to his kid in conjunction to that. Very deep personal stuff that I came to appreciate. Kendrick Lamar and his Mr. Morale really set the world ablaze and let all these black men be like, oh yeah, I can do this. And I want to, we talked about him last week. Shout out Kid Cudi, who I think started all this. So
yeah, Kid Cudi definitely changed the game for a lot of introspective rap albums. A lot of people stole his bag and he doesn't get a lot of credit for it. And it's funny because Cudi has one of those fan bases that once they get into their, Cudi's the most influential artist in the world. I'm like, all right, let's bring it down a little bit because they can get a bit overbearing with it. But it is a fact. I do think he is very much underappreciated. He is not credited enough for what he did for rap. He's one of those guys came in at a blog era that completely changed the music that was coming out.
It's funny we were talking about the Chance album and the kind of second half being a little bit experimental. Kid Cudi is one of those guys that like has experimented so much, and it's either there's no middle ground with this. Like you either love it or you hate it, and I think that's what I've always loved about him is he's always kind of jumped out the window with whatever he's doing. I don't know if his new one's dropped or it's dropping. There's so much music coming out and happening that I get lost in it. But shout out to him.
Yeah, Chance album is still in heavy rotation over here. A Weekend I am still standing on. This is a great album. We're getting a Joey album next weekend.
Yeah.
Pretty excited about that. Big Joey fan. I like the record he dropped. The single he dropped was dope. Dark Aura.
I'd like time to absorb all this stuff. This Ghostface Killer album came out yesterday too. I'm like, I don't know. I wish I had more ears or whatever they say. And I want to get caught up on everything. Wu-Tang guys and their AI usage though.
Nah, I'm good.
They're of that generation though, Phil. So I don't feel them, but I like understand, you know.
I'm good. We don't want no AI raps, dog. I'm good.
Please keep it, everybody. Just like the kid that said he did what's his name? I don't know, the little Huey from the Boondocks, little Boondocks kid. He said he did the Chat GPT lyrics and he's on the Chance album.
I don't want it. I don't want it.
The game's fucked up. I don't want to be like an old head, but like I'm like an old head. Burn it down. I think we're done here.
You talk about something that broke my brain ever since I've seen it. And the more and more I've like walked around since I've seen this clip, I'm like, no, he's right. That Denzel clip where he's like, no, you don't have to be good anymore. I'm like, bro, he's so right. he's so right, man. He's like, man, you don't have to be good. You just have to have a following. And it used to be when you had a following, you used to have something when you get there. They don't have to have nothing when you get there. And I'm like, bro, he's so right. He's so right on so many levels.
There's content creators that have tours and it's like 30 dates. And I'm like, what do you do though? I don't understand what you're going to do at the show. He's
so right, man. And
it's sick.
It definitely feels like one of those old heads, man. In my day, you used to have to be, but he's right. And it used to be different. You used to have to be good at what you do. You don't have to be good at what you do no more.
I was just thinking about that before we started talking about hip hop earlier, because I was thinking, but that's when I get my most old head thing is hip hop, and like you used to have to know how to rap, and you used to have to be in a cipher, and you used to have to battle guys, and you don't have to do none of that. All those rules are out the window.
There used to be a time where you could not go up to a radio without a verse.
Nope.
You can go up there and just talk, and you don't have to have a verse. You ain't gotta be able to rap. They could put on a beat, and you ain't gotta be able to freestyle.
Or you could just pull your phone out. You could have a book of rhyme. You could do anything. There's no rules anymore. It used to be you go up there, you have your rap memorized, and a bunch of them just in case y'all are rapping, and a verse just in case another rapper might be up there. None of these rules apply. None of this matters. Rappers are using AI to write rhymes. I don't know. I guess like as a creative, that's kind of why I got into it, because Earl always gets me thinking, because his albums are like a lot of the songs got no hooks on them. He'll rap one verse and he's out of there. And then like you used to couldn't do that. Like you got to have 3 verses, a hook, a bridge, all kind of shit, like song structure and all these things. But you don't have to do that anymore. And as a creative, I appreciate that, because there's no rules. I could do anything in the world when I rap, Phil. I could rap for 5 seconds. I can rap one line and loop that line and say that line 20 times. That's a song. I could rap for 10 minutes. Like there's no rules. And like as a creative, I appreciate that. But also there's no rules, Phil. You can rap one line and loop that 20 times, and that's a song. So I don't really know.
Yeah. Yeah. The state of things with where the internet is now. And boy, like I said, that Denzel clip, ever since I've seen it, I've been just like, man, he's so on the money about so many things, not just acting, about so many things. He's so on the money.
With acting too, because I've been watching a lot of movies recently for some research purposes, and there is, but like if you have a following, you could be a star in the movie, Phil, not just in the movie, like the movie's about you,
bro. There are people getting cast in some of these things because they're following. Homegirl that just did the interview that people were upset about, and she's throwing the jabs at Cora Jade. That's why she was brought in. That's why she was brought into the PC, because she had a following. It didn't matter if she knew how to wrestle. It didn't matter if she cared about wrestling. It didn't matter if she knew anything about wrestling. Now you got this big following on TikTok. Get over here.
People are upset at that. They're like, I'm seeing the same people that have said some questionable things being like, I can't believe she would get into this business and don't care about it. I'm like, wait, what do
why
you
y'all
mean?
My thing is, why y'all blaming her and not the company that brought her in?
Always, every single time.
If
she was just trying to get a check.
If you offering her just a gig, yeah, her agent come in with a gig and this look like a paying gig. Yeah, let me see what they're talking about.
And they're going to put you on TV. You're going to be in front of this many million people. You're going to be doing this. Yeah. Okay. What I got to do?
Bro, exactly. That's why I'm like, everything she's doing, and even the way she's like capitalizing it and doing interviews off of her time there. What did you expect her to do? That's the game. That's the game now.
That I just thought about that screen, whatever Cora posted of that thing that just says lawyer or whatever. And I'm just like, what's happening here? What is this?
Yeah,
Drake, what'd you do here? You can't be. Now we're calling lawyers.
Let me get my lawyer on the phone.
Lawyer up. You don't be talking crazy about me in a podcast. That's not what this is. Like,
yeah. The funny thing about it was, when Cora / Elena did respond and she was talking about it, I was like, well, wait a minute. The thing that she's doing on this interview is the thing that Cora essentially called her and told her to chill out on. And she's still doing it. It's so funny when you really think about it. It's like, wait a minute. Cora was like, nah, maybe take that video down. Like, don't go out talking about that. She's still doing it.
The homegirl broke it down. She was all, hey, Cora, Elena told me not to do all these things that she was currently doing in the interview. And I was like, I don't know. I think maybe this is probably, and this is why wrestlers are like, keep my name out of your mouth. Like, I don't care what it is, what the context is. Don't add me to your little things for clickbait. This is exactly what they're talking about. But again, the homegirl is just like, yo, I came to this business and they was acting crazy. Like, I don't know.
It's wild. It's wild over there. Them people.
I didn't learn that you are not supposed to do that. And that's probably Elena's things. Like, I was trying to teach you.
Yeah. But when you get somebody from that world of the content influencer world, that's pretty much what they're going to do, because everything is content. Right. And so what did you expect her to do? That's my thing. Like, every time people complain about it, I'm like, what did y'all think she was going to do? Her whole thing before she got over there is, I'm an influencer.
These people that film their lives 24 hours, Phil, they're shocked. They're like, wait, what? She went on what and did what? Yes, she's trying to get bits. She's happy that everybody's talking to her. She succeeded. Yeah. Was she the one that said she thought this was all fake?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's the game. We might as well just start doing that. We're gonna start doing that with our channel. Just everything is filmed. You're gonna pull it up and it's gonna be like basically the Gunther and the Great. I wanna wake up in my beautiful morning. Some dreads. Come on, bro.
Nothing's anything anymore, Phil. You can do whatever you want. Who cares?
Yeah, nah, bro. Just filming whatever.
That song killed me.
Walking down 79th Street. I want to wake up in my beautiful morning.
But Bill Goldberg just said the same thing that she said, essentially, but in a different. He always says that. Why are they mad at her? She was like, "Oh, I didn't know this was. I just came to get paid."
Yeah,
people don't like that. People hate that.
I still think it's very funny how mad people got at Goldberg. I laugh at it pretty. I laugh at it pretty often, actually.
Wait, did Goldberg ever come? Remember, Goldberg was like, "I'm gonna be back in 3 weeks to really fuck y'all up." Did he ever come back?
You just wait till this contract's all the way up. I'm gonna tell y'all the real story. I don't
Did
think
he ever
he's come
come
back.
He never came back.
That day when that interview first dropped, people were so mad. God, it was
People
funny.
were pissed. I was dying at the time. Like, people were mad all day. How dare he? I can't. They did all this for him. They put him on Saturday Night's Main Event, and this is the thing. So I'm like, you guys.
Are we far enough away now that I can say how much I laughed at that other interview too?
Mm-hmm. We are.
Listen.
We are.
Initially, when Punk first left AEW, I was like, nah, the person that gets that interview, man, they're gonna have something on their hands. It's gonna be a clickable thing. It's gonna be like a lot of things. Now, there were a lot of things he said that I'm like, oh no, don't do that. Don't say that. Why'd you say that? But there are many things that people got mad at that I thought were really, really funny. Mm-hmm. I thought it was mostly people's reactions getting so upset. And I'm like, bro, what did y'all think this guy in particular, the guy that is known for doing this very thing, was going to do?
I saw somebody bring up a really great point or tweet yesterday. They were like, they didn't understand why people are mad at Punk because he did the thing about being on ESPN and being really excited and like he's going hard for the company. And somebody was like, this guy's whole bit when he left this company is that he wanted to be the number one guy. He wanted to be on all the posters. He wanted to be on all the talk shows. He wanted to be selling this company. And now he's doing that and people are surprised.
So it's not just me when people are like, well, he sold out. Now, I understand to a degree why people are saying he sold out. But how much did y'all actually listen to the pipe bomb? Because he's been saying all along, hey, man, I'm trying to be the guy that's on all of the posters. I'm trying to be the guy that is pushing this company forward, that's on ice cream bars, on all of this stuff. I'm trying to be corporate guy. How much were y'all listening back then? Because he's been telling y'all, I'm ready to chill out.
That's what he said on the pipe bomb. Make me the guy. I want to be on the trucks. I want to be on the marquees. I want to be front line. How do you get to be that guy?
I've been thinking that for a long time, but again, you can't say certain things about Punk without people getting really mad. And so I just don't respond to certain things. But I'm like, guys, he's been trying to tell y'all this is what he want to do for a long time.
I don't think they understand what he was saying. I'm like, oh, he was mad at them because they didn't make him the guy, not for any other reasons. That's why.
A lot of what is built into who he is has been anti-establishment, but also he's been just telling you guys for a long time, hey, I like money as well.
Yeah.
I want some of that money y'all giving John Cena. Give me some of them same merch checks. Give me some of the same opportunities as him because I like money too. Which
and not for nothing, like he has also pitched when I get to the top, it's us getting to the top. So it's a different kind of like it was always like when he gets there, we get there. So it's different than like him turning into what they think he is. But I mean, that's a different story for a different day.
Yeah. It's many things in wrestling that I feel like I think are funnier than most people because some of the stuff I just don't take very seriously. But when I see some people that are really upset at certain things, I'm like, dang, y'all are really mad. Like it was something yesterday that I saw and I was like, I just closed my phone because I was like, oh, y'all are mad at that. Okay.
Oh, y'all are mad at that. That was my same thing. Same word for word verbatim is what I said out loud to myself. Oh, they're mad at that. So mad.
I feel like if people knew most of the things that I open my phone and laugh at, they would be really mad at me. It reminds me of Undercover Brother. They're all sitting there in shock at the General Fried Chicken video. And Dave Chappelle's in the back like
But for real though, there's a lot of that. Like if you just start to look at it that way, as this is all like none of this matters. These are all just silly bits. It's way more fun.
Listen, man. Wings, legs, and thighs. Sweet potato pie. General fried chicken. Yo, we got
Oh
super
my
chat.
god! They probably started this pod like, what are these guys on today? This is what we're on today, you guys. Shout out to y'all for being here. You can submit super chats, you can submit some humper chats, get them read right here on the air by your boys. We always appreciate you guys for helping us move the conversation forward. So we're going to get into a couple of those and we'll move forward. The homie Van Twin Blade says, Van Twinable says, who the F would choose to spend double the money in a five match card next week when they could see a 10 out of 10 card at the O2 F the Fed?
Yeah, right at the gate, we got the news this week that WWE will be counter programming again. They just announced that they're going to have a pay-per-view the same day as AEW All Out, September 20th, Wrestlepalooza. I kept looking at it like, why does that name look familiar? I was like, I feel like there's an indie show called Wrestlepalooza, but then it's also the ECW show as well.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Wrestlepalooza will be the first WWE pay-per-view that will be available on this ESPN direct-to-consumer streaming platform. They put out a whole press package about it, and it's been covered quite a bit. The other bit of this that people were saying was that ESPN has taken down their AEW tab on their website. It's just under pro wrestling. It just says WWE now. Yeah. What did you think about all of this?
A lot was happening very quickly, Phil, because I swear we just got the news of them doing the deal and we were talking about the price points and all those things. And Peacock was kind of just sitting there looming in the background. They're like, okay, we got them. It felt like they were there until at least next year. And so when they came out with the news this week, they were like, actually, all our obligations are done with these extra events that were added. So we're moving forward. I was like, damn, that's crazy, because you had to give fans time to adjust to this new price point, but they don't have time because essentially the next pay-per-view is the new price point, the new thing. They got back into the talks of if you have cable providers and all the whatever's, but it's going to be right there on ESPN. So I thought that was super duper interesting. Yeah, I mean, if you're a longtime wrestling fan, you know that ECW Wrestlepalooza was once a show with the guys. First Wrestling has I tweeted something about them having the trademark, and like if you look up the trademark of Wrestlepalooza, First Wrestling has it. But I got some a couple of tidbits, a couple of news things that they talked it out, and WWE of course knew about this trademark, and they got permission, or I don't know what the specifics were, to do this show, because of course they did. Like, why wouldn't they?
Yeah, it's just like when Homeboy was like, but my shirts have Jeet on it, and then all of a sudden he was like, nope, don't worry about it, guys, it's handled.
Right. Homie was like, actually, those Yeet shirts, what Yeet shirts?
That's cool. Don't worry about it. We had to talk about it.
Because everybody was like, they're just a little blah, blah, blah. I'm like, it doesn't, like, if they came up and like, hey, we're taking this, what are they going to say? No? Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Whoever. But I'm sure that they were like, this is going to be beneficial for you too. Like, they're not selling it as we're going to crush you anymore. It's now like, let's all work together and have fun with this. So like, I hear them.
The call was made. Ain't nothing needs straightened but a little straightening. You know, they got straightened out, and right back to business. This immediately makes the Brock stuff a little bit more nasty, as a nasty cherry right on the top of it. That it's not just that they're bringing Brock back; they're seemingly making the Brock and Cena match the match for this show to put up against AEW All Out, which that's a choice. But yeah.
I mean, I'm thinking now, I'm like, maybe ESPN had some say in this Brock Lesnar thing too. Like, Because I mean, if they're like, hey, we need a first big show, and they're like, we need something bigger, and ESPN's like, well, who you got? And they're like, we still got blah blah blah, and they're like, hey, we got Brock Lesnar. ESPN's gonna be like, yeah, Brock Lesnar, because they know him from the MMA stuff. He's a sports figure, like he would fit in. I'm like, I wonder if ESPN was like, hey, what if you got Brock Lesnar back? I don't know anything about anything, but I could see it, you know.
I mean, even if it wasn't ESPN, it felt like one of those WWE is like, he's one of our big draws. Let's bring him back at this time. Let's press the Brock button. They always get to a certain point in a year where it's time to press the Brock button. It took them 2 years, but here we are. Yeah, the stuff. There are certain things about this that I was a bit surprised by, because initially, they were saying they weren't going to make the move to this ESPN streaming platform for another year.
Right.
And so for them to announce this immediately, and then we see how quickly this has been rolled out within a month of AEW All Out, been very interesting. And I'm sure, like, I've seen some more conversation about how much does the counter programming actually harm AEW. They're still going to have their same audience. The people that have bought tickets to those shows are still going to go. It's not going to harm the viewership for them shows at all. But you know, when I talked about it with Monty on Russell Purish yesterday, I've come to the conclusion that it's not about harming their viewership. I don't think it ever was.
Right.
I think the long-term thing has always been try to get more engagements and get more coverage around your pay-per-view the same weekend as this, and so it clogs up the whole news cycle around that weekend. So more people are talking about your show than the AEW show. And that might not affect AEW in the short term, but when you have an outlet as big as ESPN behind this now, it is going to become more of a thing the longer this goes on, because I mean, you see the effects of it right away with them consolidating all of their WWE news and AEW news under the same tab, because the whole point is not to basically be like AEW is going away or that some people are not going to cover AEW. It's just to lessen the engagements around it.
Right. Yeah, I think that has a lot to do with it, of like, it's still like, we're the big guy in town. No matter what you sell, no matter what you got, we're here and people are going to be talking about us. Because I saw a lot of people being like, I'll be there at Wrestlepalooza. Can't wait. Like, it was the WWE people. The fans were like, we're into this. They always buy what they're selling. So I wasn't surprised that they're doing all this. It is, though, like you're saying, Phil, them rolling out all of this in a month over what could have been a year is very interesting, really fast. And like, it's a crazy transition, especially when, like, I've been seeing so many charts and breakdowns of things, of fans and people in the business breaking down what it's going to cost to be a WWE fan and next year with all the new additions and all the different platforms. And it's not cheap, Phil.
No. Leonard Aarons is saying ESPN is not going to, here, let me put it on the screen. He said ESPN is, what did it do? Why did it do that? Come on, stream here. He said ESPN is not going to cover AEW like they used to. If you can't see that AEW is being completely removed, that's on you. Well, you're saying that as if, hey, I work in media, so I know this at this point. Because a lot of sites are doing the same thing. They're consolidating all of their wrestling stuff. If you're not a wrestling site, if you're just a big outlet of any kind that either covers pop culture stuff or sports stuff, and you cover wrestling as an aside, a lot of those sites have consolidated all of their wrestling under one place. And you're saying they're not going to cover AEW. That's of the assumption that they ever covered AEW as much as they covered WWE. WWE is always covered more than AEW at the big outlets. And all they're doing, even if it's covering it less, all they're doing is just making it more apparent that they're going to cover WWE more than anything else, because that's the game at this point. And if you don't think that, again, as somebody that works in media, I see it. It's less and less so about whether some people are interested in covering AEW. It's about, let's put it over here. Let's like Bleacher Report, for example, let's do all right. If it's a blanket article about certain things going in wrestling, let's put AEW and WWE. It's not just an AEW audience article. It's WWE and AEW, and that's why
Right.
I'm saying it's not as simple as just making AEW vanish. It's making sure that more clicks go to this company because it's the bigger company, it has the bigger market share, and it's going to get more engagements. And they're trying to make sure that it's going to get more engagements, even though that was already the case. They're trying to emphasize that.
They're trying to let you know we're the big bro around here. We're the big one in town. What did you think about this little promo video that they dropped that's mostly celebrities and Triple H?
Triple H is the first person we see in the video, of course, because Credit Boy, as always, he's the last person we see. The fact that he is always the face of these big ad campaigns is so funny to me. And that's why that clip of Dave talking about it, and Dave talked about how he wants to be the Dana White here. It's so apparent that that's what this is. It's so obvious.
Super apparent.
It's so obvious.
Even like down to the look. I'm like, damn, they don't have to look like each other. This is a crazy thing going on here. But yeah, I think Dana White set a blueprint for what it is to do what it is in this position and kind of be the head of this thing. And like, the brand is this, and I'm the head of the brand, and any of these pieces could be moved, but I'm the figurehead on this. And never forget that I did this for you.
Yes. And the thing is, you know, the other part about them and ESPN and consolidating stuff, you got to realize a lot of people outside of our circle, casual wrestling fans, when you say wrestling to them, they immediately think WWE. A lot of people don't know what AEW is. They don't care. And so for a lot of people, when you say pro wrestling, they think WWE anyway. And again, this is just part of the game of media. And just like it's different than when this was like 2018, 2019, and AEW was still new. And, you know, some of the market share of covering them was covering something new. Now AEW has been around. It's proven that it's not going anywhere. But I feel like the interest in it has stayed where it is. It's not moving up. And that's to a degree because whether some people are going to agree or not, AEW is niche, man. It's always going to be niche. And I don't think it's ever going to be comparable to what WWE does because they're just doing two different things.
I don't want it to be. And never forget, don't leave this podcast thinking these guys shit on AEW. I like AEW because it's niche. I wouldn't like this. I wouldn't cover it. I wouldn't talk about it if it wasn't what it was. If they were out here trying to be WWE, you know what time it would be. TNA
I would have a lot less interest.
Exactly. TNA tried to do it before I remember the time when they went to Monday nights and they did the whole thing. It's like, if you try to be the guys, you're going to get defeated by the guys. The point of this is to be totally different than them, to be niche, to cater to the people that are going to consistently be there for these 6 years, people like us. So I want that to continue to be a thing, and being niche is not a bad thing.
No, I'm not, of course, saying that as a negative. I just think that that's the reality of the situation.
It is. It's just kind of how wrestling moves and the way that they present their wrestling and the way that they present their angles and the way that they move. That's just what it is. And that's what it's always going to be. That's what I always kind of, when people are like, is it ever going to be like it was like the time you're describing, Phil? Like it won't be, especially how we had WWE fatigue back then. So people wanted to find what they thought was going to be an alternative. And WWE, to their credit, figured out a way to counter that, and that's just by covering every corner covered. Like, if you like indie wrestling, they got this. If you like their mainstream wrestling, you like this. If you like the development wrestling, they got this. Like, they created a way that you don't have to watch AEW if you're a WWE fan, and WWE fans only like WWE wrestling. So they figured out a way to totally cater to them. And those fans, like I always say, If WWE gets them to leave, they're leaving wrestling for good. They're not going over to AEW because they're not pro wrestling fans. They're WWE fans. And there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. There's some people when they are like, I'm a wrestling fan, I'm going somewhere to get my wrestling fix. They mean WWE. They're not watching all wrestling.
Mm-mm. They're not going to watch like NWA or fucking Action Wrestling or Ashe Wrestling. No, they're going to watch WWE. When they say wrestling, that's what they mean. I love when I say I work in pro wrestling and they always say, you mean like WWE? If I had a quarter for every time they say you mean like WWE, I'd be the richest guy in the world. It never fails.
Every time. Yeah. When you mention AEW to people that are outside of our circles that know about these things, they're like, what? What's that?
AEW. What does that mean?
But again, that's what they're banking on with the way they're handling the counter programming and making sure their pay-per-view is on a bigger outlet. You're on the biggest sports outlet in the world, and you're banking on the fact of, there's a wrestling show going on this weekend. Oh, let me go on ESPN and see what you're talking about. They're not going to be like, oh, let me check Triller.
No. Let me pull up Triller to see what's going on.
And again, that's what they're banking on. They're banking on the coverage for the WWE show being more present during these weekends than the AEW shows. And it's something so kind of insidious about it because they'll be just like, well, what do we do? It's just business. And it's like, yeah, but come on, man. We see you.
Tony Khan, the funniest one has been Tony Khan started this, and they show a clip that's like from when AEW was already 3 years old. He started this. I'm like, dude, this started so far before AEW was even a thought. You guys don't understand.
This started when Vince Jr. took over the company.
That's when it started. That was
this started back then. Anybody that is competitive, that's competition to them, they treat it the same way. Remember when the argument was always, well, WWE don't even see them as competition. Now it's like, well, y'all wanted competition. It's
right.
Like, it's one of those. Pick one.
I thought this is what you wanted. What they don't see them as competition though, but I thought this is what you wanted. But people keep playing those things of like they didn't start this. No one ever starts this. You could be over here in your own corner and they're gonna be like, what do y'all have? We're gonna take it. That's just how the game works. And that's just how they always work. And
this company left the continent to go to another continent to be like, oh, y'all got wrestling over here. We're trying to put our wrestling over here too.
And when Bucks and Cody, when they were trolling, they were on the radar. They knew this whole they weren't like, oh, AEW Dynamite, all this is a thing. No, they knew from day one what this was going to be and where they were going to take it. So this battle has been going on since birth. And I hate when people are like, this started when it started, like Phil said, when Vince Jr. took over and he said, I'm taking every territory and either absorbing them or crushing them.
Yeah, it's been get down or lay down since Vince took over.
A lot of people have got down. It's a cold world. It's a nasty game. So where do you land on this thing, Phil? Are you going to get ESPN, the app? What is it?
I feel like I'm eventually going to have to get it to watch the shows and cover the shows, but right now I have no excitement for this. I have no excitement for this Wrestlepalooza thing. I could not care less about a Brock match. Just don't care.
Right. A bunch of elements that aren't great to sell this, but they put out something somewhere that says that it's going to be loaded up. Like it's not just going to be.
Of course. I wouldn't be surprised if they're going to try and put a Punk match on there. Don't be surprised if they try to get Punk versus Rollins on there.
Oh, yeah. Because ESPN, they got to get it has to be WrestleMania quality, essentially, right? For the first big one.
Even if it's not WrestleMania quality, they're going to try and load this show up, because if you think they put this against All Out, because last time they put Evolution against All In, they put NXT in that weekend. They're not going to put this kind of show on ESPN and not try to load it up.
The Evolution thing was like, because this week people figuring out with the Peacock deal that it was a quota show too. I'm like, yo, you guys, this is what this company does. It's not for you. It's for them.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Just enjoy what you can get is where I've landed on it. Like I'm saying, they created an avenue for their fans to get something in some way. If you can enjoy it, however you can enjoy it, just take it. It's not going to be morally right or great. That's just what WWE is going to give up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wrestlepalooza, baby. Then the only other super chat we have is from the homie other half, who says Currency 930. Currency's dropping a new one.
Yeah.
Man,
a lot of
I
music
need
coming
more ears. Shout out to the homie Currency. I'm gonna bump that.
Yeah, send us your super chats. That is the best way to get your chat read on the podcast. You can also send us a Humper chat. It's humperchats.com/Fightful. We've got a few Humper chats here. We got one from Coach W. He says, with Swerve, Ospreay allegedly heading to the shelf, who would you like to see elevated on the babyface side of AEW? I can see Briscoe having a huge fall/winner.
On the babyface side, that's a good that changes things with the babyface side. Briscoe, I think that's a good one. Jet Speed, I don't know if together or individually that they could do this thing, because I think Kevin Knight, when I see how the crowd reacts to him and how he moves when he's in singles action, it's incredible when he's in tag action. Like, I'd love for them to stay over there. But when I see what he does as a single star, I'm like, oh, Kevin Knight's going to be one of those guys here very soon.
Brody. I think Brody should be the answer here.
There it is.
We've been waiting to see him get like some kind of momentum as a singles guy. I think that's the move. They've already started like trying to push Kyle Fletcher more. I feel like on the heel side, he's the guy. But on the baby face side, like, to me, Brody, AR Fox is another one. He continuously is getting over with the live crowd. He is turning into a fan favorite. I feel like you've got to do more with him.
Brody's my answer. I can't believe I didn't think of him first. Like, Brody King is like, he could tomorrow be champion and we'll all be in. I mean, and same thing with his now tag team partner, whatever's going on, Bandito, dog. Like,
he's out of here.
Bandito could be the guy right now, tomorrow, the number one, and we'd all be in. So they got kind of a nice little hitter's row of baby faces, but Brody King and Bandito, I think right now, are leading the cause.
Yeah, Bandito's out of here, bro. Trying to think anybody else.
I think I like Kyle. I think he's a great heel, but like babyface Kyle Fletcher, though, I don't know. Like that might be a thing. Like,
I wouldn't turn him anytime soon.
When we talked to him, I was like, oh, I see. Like, this guy's gonna be like, when it is babyface time, he's out of here.
Yeah, he's gonna be a big star eventually.
Mm-hmm.
He's on his way.
Right.
For the women, commit to this Willow push, man. I feel like they've been starting this Willow push for a long time. Get to it.
Because every time she's out there, you can see it again. And like, it's, you understand it's there. The fans still feel it. The she's still great as she's always been. Like, she could be slotted right back in there. I like they kind of have Queen Aminata on the heel side of the babyface side too, because I think people really took to the thing she had with Tekla earlier, and it got her some babyface sides. So her being over there, I think, is really awesome. Statlander's in this really weird space because she has this Death Riders bit kind of looming over her head, and she's still in the thing with Willow. But I think she's such a great she could be such a great babyface. She could also be a great heel, but I think right now her and Willow could really, if they get it back together, which it feels like they're kind of slowly getting to, that could really be a thing. Shout out to Bailey being like, she loves her some Statlander, because we all love us some Statlander.
Yeah, I watched some of that IG Live with Bailey and Mercedes, and I'm ready. I'm ready for her to leave.
I'm so ready.
I wanted to leave so bad. Quit your job, bro.
You can see it in Mercedes's eyes and the way that she's the most ready anyone's ever been for anything in the world to see her friend over there. Like she's just like the way that she talks about, like she's like, I love Tony Storm and I love Chris Statlander. I watched that bit, and she just like you can see it in Bailey's eyes that she's like, I hear what you're saying. Like I know exactly what you're saying, and I can't wait.
When she was talking about and they were asking questions in the chat, and someone asked them when are they gonna tag again, and she was like, yeah, I see you you're teaming over there with Athena. Are you cheating on me with Athena now? Like, listen, I'm not one of those people that you have to go to the company that I prefer for you to be successful, because I'll support wrestlers I like across the board, but I'm just ready for Bailey to do something else. She's been there for so long, and it just feels like they don't appreciate her over there, man.
They do not. They don't.
I'm just ready. I'm ready for her to do something else.
I will say she's been appreciated in points. Like she has the accolades and she has the whatever WWE gave. She made lemonade out of lemons for sure at points, but she has so much more to give. And like you see how much she cares about women's wrestling. Like that whole bit was just her being like, "Nah, I just love women's wrestling." When they started talking about the second Athena women's wrestling event, she's like, "I'm gonna be there." Like it's just like not because I work for a company and not because of this. It's because I fucking love women's wrestling and I love wrestling.
I'm sure somebody backstage loved hearing that. I don't really like that. I'm about to go to this indie show or put over how good this indie show or what they're doing over there is. I'm sure they love that.
You talked about a person that doesn't work here and how much you like them. I'm sure that I'm sure that went over well.
I'm sure that went over very well, but yeah, I'm just ready for her to try something else for a while.
Yeah.
We've seen the WWE run, we've seen the NXT run. More importantly, to the reason why they were on IG Live, we've seen just the impact of the Takeover Brooklyn match on women's wrestling, on indie wrestling. There are so many people that have said, I wanted to wrestle after seeing that match. And so I just want her to get what Mercedes is getting, where she's got to go to all these other indie promotions and wrestle with people that are giving her flowers, because Bailey deserves just as many flowers.
It being the 10-year anniversary of that match and people talking about it, yesterday was the first time I seen a lot of men's wrestlers being like, that match. Like usually I've heard a ton of women's wrestlers being like, that match got me into this game. Bailey and Sasha did it for me. But yesterday was the first time I saw a bunch of men's wrestlers being like, that match did it for me. And that's how influential that match was. Like that changed the way that women were going to be presented in that, the way matches and all kind of stuff. Like just such a great display. Both those women still rate that as like their number one match. Like that. Things would be totally different if that Brooklyn match didn't happen.
I mean, Mercedes has wrestled all over the world. She's headlined WrestleMania. She still says that's number one for her. That's her favorite match that she's ever taken part in. And I think that says a lot. And I mean, I think as time goes on, Mercedes versus Bianca at WrestleMania is going to be one of those matches as well that influenced an entire generation of women to want to wrestle. But Takeover Brooklyn is such an important match, man. I mean, when Glow was going on, the opening credits had a part of that match in it.
Yeah, that is crazy. That I can't believe it's been 10 years. I remember watching that match and being like, at that point, WWE was making that transition into what NXT, like it was exciting around there. And I didn't like the women were trying to carve their space, and I didn't know a lot about these women. Like I caught the weekly NXTs, but I really didn't know what they were going to do. And so just watching that in amazement and being like, oh my God, I didn't know they would let women in WWE do this, because they just don't. Like I've seen women's matches like this before in the Indies or in Japan or out of here, but like I didn't know that it was a possibility in WWE. And when they opened that door, it it's done so much. Like it feels like hundreds of wrestlers at this point are wrestlers because of that match, because of one match. And I don't think people understand how heavy that is. Like, it's like Ricky Steamboat and Macho Man. I remember people for years, like so many wrestlers be like, I got into this because of that match. I got into this because of Bret Hart and Stone Cold. I got it. Like, there's been so many that just changed so much. I think it's an amazing feat. And I'm happy that they got to get on that IG Live to celebrate it.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm ready. I'm ready.
2 weeks notice, man.
From Rafael Garcia, we have he says, I'm sick of Anthony Rafiki missing all these opportunities, especially with Forbidden Door. We all know the health of half of the card after seeing Tanahashi run in. There still isn't one match sponsored by Ben Gay, Icy Hot, BioFreeze, or Epsom Salt. Come on, man. Now get these sponsors in, bro.
Having been in a wrestling locker room before, I remember the first time walking in and be like, "What's that smell?" And everybody been like, "Oh, that's Ben Gay," because like all these guys need to be rubbed down. That locker room, like your nose is gonna hurt when you go in there from the strong peppermint or whatever that scent is that comes off all these guys. Watching Tanahashi get down to that ring, Phil, I'm like, we don't need to see, like, let's shoot another angle, wait till he stands up in the ring and then start shooting him. But they shot the whole run.
Listen, man, the guy just wrestled an entire G1. We did not think we were going to get one last G1 run. No. we got a G1 run from Tanahashi. He hurting. he had been moving better earlier this year, but now you can see the effects of that G1 on him.
I mean, they're saying that, a young wrestlers 20 years younger than him are banged up and crazy off of the G1. Imagine a guy in his last year, how he's going to feel. I mean, he still made it happen. It's still Tanahashi. It still was great. But yeah, they're going to need a lot of rub downs after this cage match. That's for sure.
Yeah, we got that report that Takeshita is also dealing with some injuries coming out of G1. It's a grueling tournament. And Tanahashi is not a spring chicken no more.
There's been a lot of injury talk this week, Phil, in these last 2 weeks. AEW could look kind of different, I was saying on Wednesday with what the talks. I don't like that. There's been some talks around Swerve because I'm like, let the match happen first before we start talking about what's going to happen post-match. And I just don't like that kind of element of it, you know?
Yeah. The Ospreay stuff, I'm sure some of it is work. Because you've got to build up the fact that this is a lights out match. Now, he's confirmed at this point that he does need surgery on his neck. But the whole coming out this week and saying he's not clear to wrestle, I'm sure part of that is embellished because it's to build up the idea of this lights out match. Because I don't think they would allow him to work.
Yeah, this guy wasn't really clear to wrestle. They're not gonna let him go and do a fucking cage match. Like they're legit gonna be like, sit your ass down. So that's definitely just a way to get to it. And it added because there was a lot of questions, I think, Phil, of people being like, what do they mean by lights out? We never really got what the understanding is. And he's saying like this, the commission ain't funding this, so we could just do whatever we kind of want. And the Ospreay stuff has had me so confused for the last couple of weeks. Because you hear things and he does need surgery, but we don't know how serious it is. And this match is like, he's saying the promo could be embellished too, but their promo could be like people have had neck surgery and came back different wrestlers. Like he might have to be we might not see this Ospreay ever again. Like that's a real thing.
Yeah. I also laughed. I think about Texas quite a bit. I also laughed at him in the ring with that white hat on. He was talking about like going to Glasgow, and he was like, "Nah, we out drinking a lot of these Yanks." And I was like, "I seen that white hat in action, bro. I seen this guy. I seen this guy moving around, bro. I don't want no smoke."
I thought that same thing. I was like, "This guy is not telling no lies right now. I saw with my own eyes. Yanks were drank under the table for sure. You got it, bro."
Yeah, I don't want no smoke.
gliding through to whatever. What T-shirt song was it? Was it "Shake That Monkey"? I was like, yo,
No, it was Blow the Whistle.
Blow the Whistle. I'm like, you know what? I don't know what this is.
Yeah.
What a time. Texas was wild. Texas was hot.
Yeah. Texas was a great time, man. Mm-hmm. Texas was a great time. If you would have told me that I would have a better time in Texas than I would in Vegas, I would be like, no, I definitely had a better time in Texas.
I did. It was like a way better time too. That's crazy.
I think it was also in Vegas. We only got that one night where we really kicked it. We was kind of kicking it in Texas.
Yeah, no, we was kicking it in Texas.
Yeah.
That Vegas night I think about too though. Cause I was just every time Flow Rider comes on now, I'm like, we was wild.
Ever since then, I was like, man, I guess I owe this guy an apology, man. Like, because I guess I owe Will an apology because we both turned our nose up at him like, Flow Rider, man, get the fuck out of here. And after that night, I'm like, nah, we might have Flow Rider fucked up.
Let Flow hit the stage and there's a pool with people in it. Nah, you'll think different about Flow.
Bro. He was going hit after hit. I'm like, nah, okay, wait a minute. Hold on.
After 11 straight, Phil, I was like, nah, he played 11 straight.
Hold on, man. He was going hit after hit. He had Flav up there with him. I'm like, wait a minute. Hold on.
I'm like, depending on the crowd, this versus Flow Rider versus might fuck somebody up. Because he had like, they was coming, Phil. When he was done, I was like, no, there can't be more. He's like, actually, you forgot about this one. I'm like, damn, that's a hit too. A bunch of them.
He had some records, bro.
But I'm not like, he's not like on my playlist. I just like to,
no,
not like,
I
never typed his name into my Apple
I won't
Music.
say he's on the playlist, but I will say that again, like the amount of hits he had, he's definitely one of them guys that if you outside a lot,
mm-hmm.
yeah, you're gonna hear a lot of Flow Rider, especially in certain cities.
And like thinking of how many times I've heard Flow Rider in Vegas before that, it was kind of fitting. Like I've heard this guy's music so much in this place.
That's like Headsprung just got a plaque, right? Headsprung that summer when Headsprung came out, bro. Headsprung was played a lot in Vegas, and that was like just being in Vegas, kicking it, bro. Headsprung was played everywhere, like no joke, everywhere.
That clip of him playing the woman's leg like a guitar kills me. It kills me every time. Like LL Cool J got some of the wildest visuals of all time.
Yeah, that and him doing his on SmackDown, licking the whole hand. Yeah, he got some wild moments.
Legend, man. I can't believe it's taken this long for a Headsprung to go to do that.
Me too, because I feel like that was a big record for him.
Huge. He's had so many different transformations, and that was one of them.
Legend. Absolute legend. Yeah, it was that, and then seeing the anniversary of Jamiroquai Virtual Insanity this week again. Classic record, dog.
We're 100 years old at this point.
Classic record, bro.
Man,
if you're not fucking with Jamiroquai, then I don't know, dog.
Amazing record. If you don't know Jamiroquai, like, what's up with you?
Yeah,
probably young. That's probably it. I understand if you don't understand because you're probably young.
Yeah.
We're talking about 30-year-old records here.
It's still a classic record.
Definitely.
Yeah. Well, we talked about it a little bit. We did get the G1 finals last Sunday. We got the unexpected development that Evil made it to the finals to take on young up-and-coming outsider Konosuke Takeshita. Coming into this match, I was like, all right, I know we're going to get House of Torture stuff, but I didn't quite know what to expect of this match. I walked away from it going, nah, fair play, man. Mm-hmm. That was probably the best Evil match I've ever seen.
There you go. And that wasn't the consensus going into that. You know, before the match, Phil, I was reading the Japanese wrestling fans' comments under the New Japan post, and a lot of them were like, hope the homie Evil wins. I can't believe this outsiders coming in and trying to take the crown. Like a lot of the comments, like not just like one or two, like people were like, we need Evil to help us and we need Evil to do this, the Japanese fans. And I was like, that's super interesting that there is this kind of rivalry, competitiveness with other Japanese wrestling companies, with other wrestlers from them trying to come in and take their shine. So I thought that was interesting in contrast to what we talked about last week with the American fans being like, Takeshita better go in and fucking drag this guy and it better be nothing, you know?
Yeah. I think that's part of what made the match so good. The crowd was very, very split.
Right.
Evil was getting a lot of cheers in this match. And I mean, you know, we always hear about how popular Evil is domestically. House of Torture merch does very well. But I do think there's something to House of Torture fatigue. I've never been one of those people that feels like Evil's a bad wrestler.
No.
Me being frustrated that he was in the finals has nothing to do with Evil's talent level. It's me being annoyed with how much House of Torture stuff is all over New Japan shows.
What's attached to Evil.
Yes. And I also think for a good amount of time, it was just fatigue with, you know, certain stables doing the run-ins. Because at one point, there's a stable in every company doing it. You had the Death Rider stuff, you had the Bloodline stuff, and then you turn on a New Japan show and you're getting the House of Torture stuff. And you still have Bullet Club, which Bullet Club was the original Gaijin run-ins interference stable. And so it just feels like overkill on a lot of the run-ins with House of Torture. But I feel like that bogged down maybe the first 5 or 10 minutes of this match. But once it got down to just a one-on-one match, straightforward raps, this match was very, very good. The near falls in this match were incredible. The crowd was very good throughout. The atmosphere for this match was great. Man, Takeshita is a special wrestler, man. I mean, I understand the point of view of some fans that are straightforward New Japan fans that didn't want an outsider to come in and win the tournament. But I feel like with where Takeshita is, it's hard to be upset that he won this tournament for me.
Right.
Because he's just such a great wrestler. Now, I think the execution of his G1 run was more the problem than anything. And really, I feel like that's more the issue with this tournament in general. The in-ring stuff was very good. The in-ring product was exceptional. But it was the booking choices for most of this tournament that was the turnoff for a lot of people. And I think, especially for New Japan fans, whether domestically or internationally, I think it's hard to get on board with this idea of an outsider coming in and then you're trying to sell him as a good guy, because coming into all of this, Takeshita was a heel, and throughout this tournament he slowly more and more started turning face. So by the time you get to the finals, it's very apparent that Takeshita is the baby face here. Evil is the guy that is supposed to get you to cheer for Takeshita, but it didn't have the effect that they wanted because you have this outsider dynamic along with it.
And people kind of wanted to use that to move Takeshita forward with the outside. Like they wanted, I think, to embrace the heel thing more. Like he was going to eventually get to babyface because that's just the fighting spirit and what he represents was going to get there. But I think it happened so quickly that you confused their fans a little bit. And I think that's why we got to we're in the finals and people are cheering Evil. But I think it's like you said, I think it enhanced what it was. People being so upset about Evil being there, then Evil being like, but actually, like, I can work, like I can do these things, like I'm in these positions for a reason. I've been in New Japan for so long for a reason, because when it comes down to it, I could still do it.
Yeah, I think if he had gone into the finals as a heel, Takeshita, and he was going up against somebody like Tsuji or somebody else, it would have made more sense using him as an outsider. But having him as an outsider win the tournament and doing this tearful speech where he's saying, like, you know, I just love pro wrestling and I just appreciate this opportunity and all those things. It's not going to hit the same with certain people. If you don't really care about like the politics around Japanese wrestling and some of those things, it's not going to bother you as much. But I definitely understand if you're a fan and you're seeing this company go through this transition period and you want to see the newer New Japan guys get that moment and get the push that we've been waiting for, and they're like, no, let's put that on hold to give it to this guy that's an outsider. Yeah, I can totally see the frustration there, because that's kind of why I felt like Tsuji could win the tournament at some point, because by the time we got to the semifinals and seeing the reaction to him, I'm like, yeah, now it might be his time. And I still think that based on the way the last 2 rounds were booked, the way that Tsuji was taken out of the tournament, I do think Tsuji is going to be in a big dome match. I do think there's a very good chance that Takeshita is going to challenge Zack before Wrestle Kingdom, and he'll walk into Wrestle Kingdom as champion. And Tsuji might be the guy that challenges him. That makes a lot of sense to me. And that might be why they held off on using that as the finals, because maybe they see that as a bigger match that they can put on the Wrestle Kingdom card.
I see it as a bigger match. I mean, that's 2 of the futures of this business going at it right there. Takeshi's going to be super hot as the IWGP champion potentially in a big dome match. I think that's great. Yeah, Takeshi's whole like, I like New Japan, but I love pro wrestling more. Some New Japan fans, I fucks with them. They're like, look, this is New Japan. We care about this. We care about the wrestlers that are here. We want the people to say they love New Japan and they're going to stay here forever. Like, I fuck with those fans. But there's some wrestlers like Takeshita and like some of the American wrestlers that have went over there that are like, I like pro wrestling. It doesn't really matter the brand of it. I'll fight here. I'll fight in DDT. He gave it up to DDT afterwards. Like, there's so many different places that represent that, but there's diehard fans that just want that. I think, like you were saying, though, the tournament, beyond the booking, the matches and getting guys to where they needed to be, I think was exceptional. There were some guys that I think needed to step up that totally stepped up 100% in this tournament.
Yeah. I was just saying, when I saw Drilla pull up to Dynamite, I was excited because Drilla had a great debut in the G1 this year. He was one of my favorite guys to watch in the tournament. I think there are guys that benefited a lot from this tournament. And so I can see people, again, I can see both sides of it. I can see people's frustrations, but as somebody that's like, we're going to get some big matches out of this. And I do think this G1 run and him turning babyface in the G1 is going to escalate him turning babyface with AEW. Because now I feel like it's only a matter of time. I think he'll be a babyface with AEW by the end of the year. Because
definitely
you don't need Don Callis managing both Okada and Takeshita. They both show tension. We've been waiting for that one-on-one match between Takeshita and Okada for about a year at this point, because the Fatal 4-Way, that was All Out 2024. And so we've been waiting for this one-on-one match, and every time they're like in a room together, Takeshita's looking at him like, nah. And so I feel like this is leading to Takeshita leaving the Don Callis family eventually and going off on his own as a babyface, and Don managing Okada in the match against Takeshita.
And that match is going to be insane. They announced Takeshita for tonight on Collision against Ishii, which should be very exciting to see. But Phil, you said it off rip. Like, soon as they announced Takeshita in this tournament, you were like, Takeshita is going to win the G1, and Takeshita won the G1.
You know, second year in a row predicting the outcome of this tournament. You know, sometimes I know what I'm talking about. Every now and then. But yeah, man, I could not be more enthused with the finals, because I did not know what to expect, but ended up being a very good match. The discourse online afterwards was it was about what I expected. I knew it was going to be divided because of Takeshita's spot as an outsider, and I just think like where New Japan is as a company is so much more different. Like, I saw people bringing up Kojima because Kojima's probably the last outsider that won the G1, and the company was just different then. It was just different.
Yeah, it was a completely different thing and what it represented. And this AEW partnership and what that represents, it's like, it's different. It's completely different. But I'm super happy for Takeshita. I think that he worked, the way that we figured he would, and he got to the tournament final. He won, and I think he did exactly like he should be. Like, and he's on his way to to really doing this. He could be the one to defeat. I think that Kenny Omega is going to beat Okada. He could be the one to defeat Kenny Omega for that championship somewhere in the near future.
Maybe. I do think it says a lot about where New Japan as a company is when at the start of this year, you had Kenny Omega of all people coming back, and that crowd was like, nah, we fucking with Gabe.
Yep.
You're not a New Japan guy anymore. You're an AEW guy. Like, I feel you. I feel how much you appreciate this place and how much you love being here. This ain't your home no more. And like him being very devastated by that. And then having Kenny Omega protege come back and win the G1 after that. That's a very interesting development. That probably wasn't even intentional, but just that through line of both of those things happening in the same year is interesting.
I can't believe that. That feels like that was 5 years ago, that Gabe and Kenny match. And that was just this year. Like, this has been such a dense year, impactful year of pro wrestling, continuously changing. With New Japan doing the G1 and the conjunction with Forbidden Door and the talks that surround that. It's been such an interesting strategy. I'm interested to see how they run it next year and how things work, because this was a very interesting strategy, especially considering some of the guys showed up to AEW this week.
Yes. And I do think that, you know, it's a shrewd decision to decide we're going to put all our chips in front of Takeshita. But I do think part of this is making Takeshita feel like this unbeatable guy, so that when one of the younger guys does eventually beat him, it's going to give them a big rub. And I'm sure some people are not going to like that or that development, but I do think there's something to that. I think the idea of even if Takeshita does beat Zack and goes into the Dome with the championship, if Tsuji beats him at Wrestle Kingdom, that's a big win for Tsuji.
Huge, gigantic. I mean, anybody getting the opportunity to headline the Dome and win in the Dome, I think means so much. And Tsuji's, I think, more ready than Shota was for sure, right?
He's ready. I mean, out of the three Musketeers, he's the guy that's ready. Ren is doing whatever with this House of Torture stuff. Shota has shown glimpses, but he's not quite there yet.
Right.
Tsuji's there, man. He's got it. He's got the in ring. He's got the look. I mean, bro, when the smoke came up and he was coming up the stairs and all you see is his hat and the trench coat, and then he's got the other ex-LIJ guy standing behind him. Nah, he's ready. It's time.
Got to crown the guy. He's definitely on his way. And yeah, getting a big win over Takeshita, it would be worth something. Where would you predict that Takeshita challenges Zack Sabre then if it's before the Dome?
I don't know, because it looks like he's not going to be a part of the tour going into Destruction. Maybe the match is going to happen at Destruction, but I would assume if that's the case, they would have put him on this tour somewhere to hype it up. So I'm not sure. I don't know.
Yeah, because I kind of feel like the same thing. Like, he's kind of expressed that he wants to. There's the class of people that want to win the championship at the Dome, and then there's a class of wrestlers that want to go into the Dome as the champion, and he feels like one of those go into the Dome as the champion wrestlers.
Yeah. Me and Monty talked about it a little bit yesterday. When you talk about what is the benefit of this partnership still, I think things like this are still the benefit of this partnership. Being able to send an AEW wrestler abroad and take part in the G1 or the Best of Super Juniors, that has really benefited AEW. Being able to send a wrestler on kind of like a pseudo excursion. Like, if you think about like what that did for Nick Wayne. Nick Wayne came back so much more confident, and he came back looking much better as a wrestler after being part of the Best of Super Juniors. Yeah,
he looked like a completely different wrestler, a wrestler that was ready for whatever AEW kind of threw on. He worked a lot better. His timing was better. Like, that tournament did so much to help him. And that's what they're saying. Takeshita is banged up, but you can already see that this tournament has helped him so much. Drilla's confidence, like, he didn't even wrestle. Just seeing him on Dynamite, I was like, oh, this tournament changed him. He's ready for the spotlight.
It feels like they're trying to prep the next Bullet Club guy. I don't know if that's just me. It just feels like we're eventually going to get some upheaval with Bullet Club. They brought back the Knockout Brothers. They've been away for a while. They showed up as well during the last night of the G1 climax. They look pretty cool. Just bringing them in as a new tag team and putting them with Bullet Club, I like it.
Yeah, I think that not for nothing, there's just been a lot of talk, and we talked about it last week on where New Japan is and attendance and where things are going. And I think they're trying. Like you can count the bad stuff. The good stuff outweighs the bad stuff. And I think that they're continuously trying to move forward with stuff. And I like that about it.
Yeah. I don't know where they're going with the leadership. Something's happening there. They could be just trying to prep themselves in case Gabe leaves or in case Finlay leaves, because Finlay's had a great 2 years. I think he's been incredible in ring. I think he's really come along as a leader as well.
I didn't even think about Finlay leaving. I think
he's in a contract year, isn't he?
Yeah, feels like everybody always is in a contract year with New Japan. But yeah, definitely, like, that's Finlay's kid. Like, he's somebody.
Yeah. So I think they're trying to prepare themselves. You can see the teasers that they're doing with Callum Newman. Callum is doing more and more Prince Devitt stuff. He's using the nickname. He's doing some of his moveset now. So I wouldn't be surprised if he joins Bullet Club. It kind of feels like something's going to happen with both Bullet Club and United Empire soon.
So, like, I think, like, on the young front, when these guys eventually are all the guys, they're going to have a bunch of very heavy hitters in New Japan. It's just taking time to really develop them.
They're getting there. They're still building up their roster, and I think they've got to, whatever is going on with management of the company, that concerns me more than like the way they're developing their stars, because it does seem like something's happening with the contracts, and some people are, making their moves to get out of there. And I don't know what that means, but I do think there's something to the idea that they're preparing themselves for possibly Bullet Club without either Gabe or Finlay. It just seems like they're moving pieces around. Maybe I'm off, but it just seems like something's happening there.
I mean, things seem completely different than they were in January, like you're describing. You know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't have said any of this in January, but now I'm like, oh no, things could be different in a couple months here.
Yeah, but I mean, they're in a good place with where they can move forward with Bullet Club. I'm a big fan of the War Dogs. Like, I like all of those guys. I think Clark Connor's dope. I think Trilla's dope. Been a fan of Gabe before this, so I don't know where they're going. Like, those three guys showing up, I assume they might be on this card this weekend.
I would think so. I don't think they've announced any like 0 hour or any of them type of matches yet, and they definitely could fill out the rest of this card because those guys have heat. Before we get off the G1, the last thing that I think people were obsessing over was this clip of Takeshita hitting the top rope brainbuster on Zack Sabre Jr. and people talking about the cell and and all this stuff, and I'm just like, leave Zack Sabre Jr. alone, you idiots.
See, this is the problem with GIF wrestling sometimes, and people that only see things from these GIFs and these clips. Isolated, it looks like but the story of the match was that Takeshita was targeting his neck the entire time. So him hitting him with that brain buster off of the top rope was Zack trying to recover, and he couldn't recover enough in time. And if you see the sequence that closes the match in its entirety, it makes more sense, because it's not that he's not selling it. He's emphasizing the storytelling that Zack has been on this streak of wins in the G1, but throughout this entire tournament, all these guys have been targeting his neck. He gets hit with this disgusting looking avalanche brain buster, and he tries to get up too soon and get out of there. And then Takeshita immediately capitalized, grabs him and hits him with another brain buster, and that's how he wins the match. I think if you see that sequence in its entirety, it's completely different.
Amazing breakdown, Phil. Thank you so much for saying that. It's like these people just don't understand. Like you saying, if you just see one dumb isolated clip and you're like, and it stops before you even see anything, of course you're gonna move this way. I just seen a lot of people talking very dumb, like this is why, but I'm like, you can't judge off of just this 1 5-second clip.
We're talking about one of the best wrestlers in the world right now. For my money, the best wrestler in that tournament, Zack Sabre Jr. He was it's storytelling. Like if you watch the entire match, you would understand why he did that.
It wasn't storytelling, Phil. He wasn't talking.
Yeah. But I love that match too. I think that's why I'm excited for a third to catch the Zack Sabre match, because I think both of their matches in the tournament were very good.
Zack Sabre had probably the better overall run in the tournament than Takeshita. Huh?
Yeah, he was on fire. And this is, to me, don't get me wrong, as a fan of Zack and seeing him get his flowers, seeing him as a baby face, I enjoy it. Seeing him humbled by the reactions to him, I love it. But heel Zack, when he's talking shit and he's doing the wild stuff in the matches, that's peak Zack right there.
And through it all, Zack Sabre Jr. is right now currently the IWGP World Heavyweight Champion, and that's amazing. So shout out to him.
Yes. Yeah. I often think about how different the end of this year and even the G1 would have been if Goto didn't get injured.
Yep. Would have changed a lot in this tournament if he was in it.
Yeah. I mean, we wouldn't have gotten the Yoshihashi stuff in the tournament. I think that ended up being some great storytelling as well. But yeah, still one of the most pleasant surprises of 2025 was Goto's title run.
Do you think they would have kept him as champion if he didn't get injured in the tournament?
Maybe that's why they changed Takeshita's run and made him a babyface. Because I think Takeshita winning the tournament as a heel and then coming out to challenge Goto is a different story.
Yes. Yep.
And having Takeshita be the guy this year that ends the Goto run, and he's been a fan favorite, and this guy's an outsider, and the crowd already wants to root against him. That would have been completely different.
Yeah, that shit would have been. The crowds would have ate that shit up. They would have been killing Takeshita and loving Goto. So that sucks that ended up that way.
Yeah.
Yeah, that probably was the best feel-good story of the year, though, Goto, I think.
Yeah. He's still in a running to me before this injury for my wrestler of the year. He was really incredible.
It's been a great year for wrestling, man. Because you can say that about a couple guys. And the fact that you can genuinely, there's a great, amazing case for Goto, and a lot of people are going to say Goto at the end of the year. I think it's awesome for him.
Yeah. Yeah, send us in your super chats. That's the best way to get your chat read on this podcast. You can comment on the G1 or any our other big topics for today. You can also send us a Humper Chat, humperchat.com/Fightful.
Yes, sir. We got a few more super chats. Let's get into them before we move forward. The homie Deontay Soigné says, I just woke up. I watched the TJPW Princess Cup finals and 5-star finals. Momo and Miyu on top. I'm off for the weekend. Turn off notifications. WWE is the mean girl and AEW doesn't care. All love, y'all.
Happy for Momo, man. Momo did pick up the win in the 5-star Grand Prix earlier today. She's one of those wrestlers that's been there for a minute. This win feels like it's been overdue for a minute for her. So that's dope. Seeing the Queen's Quest women in the thick of it and at the end of this tournament was also cool. So yeah, shout out to Momo.
Shout out to Momo. I keep forgetting that tournament was also going on at the same time as them wrestlers could have possibly been involved in Forbidden Door 2. I'm like, they got to get it together for next year so we can have everybody involved. But yeah, it sounds like everybody that's described what those tournaments were this week have said that it's been some great shit. So definitely check those out.
Yeah, it was interesting to see Tony acknowledge it on the call. That part of the issue with this bill was that the G1 was going on at the same time.
Mhm.
You know, there was other stuff he probably could have done, you know, but I don't know.
These dates, trying to get a big venue lined up, it's hard out here. Appreciate that, Deontay. I hope you have a great weekend, homie. Glizzy God says, who y'all got doing something stupid off the top in the please don't let Tanahashi die cage match?
Will Ospreay.
Ospreay, yeah.
William Ospreay is definitely going to do something stupid.
The way that he was talking in that promo on Wednesday, I'm like, oh, what is this guy going to do? Because he's already done some wild cage spots. Oh, no. Kota Ibushi is in there.
I forgot he
might try to out Ospreay. Ibushi is there, and he's fucking nuts.
Yeah.
It's between those two.
I still sometimes think about him in that blood and guts match, and he just decides after the match is over, he's gonna like roll around in tacks and glass, like.
Or when he returned,
what a guy.
He returned to help Kenny, and then the show's over, and he just takes the big giant bump on the chair on his neck, and it's like, why are you? What's happening?
Darby is also in this match.
Darby's in this match. Oh,
somebody,
shit.
Yeah. Darby
Damn.
just randomly did a big balcony dive in a run-in this week that he didn't need to do.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna predict Darby in the body bag off the cage. Darby body bag off the cage is a spot. Sick individual, dude. Be careful out there, Darby.
Please be safe.
Too many bodies in there. 10 guys, like, I mean, that's a lot of guys to catch, so that's worth something.
Yeah,
appreciate that, Glizzy God. Tyrone Kid says, Flow Rider Pitbull versus, or what about T-Pain?
I think Flow Rider might have Pitbull beat dog. I don't know. T-Pain is on a different level, man. I think T-Pain's beating both of them guys.
T-Pain's washing both those guys. He could pick one category and destroy that. Flow Rider, it might depend on crowd with Flow Rider and Pitbull, Phil, but I think Flow Rider got. I don't know. I think Flow Rider got more hits. Yeah, Pitbull got some massive ones. I will not take that away from him. But Flow Rider,
he had a run.
More.
Pitbull definitely had a run.
But around the same time that when those same Vegas clubs I was fucking dancing in, it was those guys back to back with Yin Yang Twins. Every time it's Yin Yang Twins, it kills me.
Yeah, speaking of Pitbull, where's our guy that got released from WWE? Fabian Eichner.
Oh yeah, what happened to him? I like that guy. Speaking of Pitbull, is hella funny
because he had his Pitbull gimmick at one point. He's coming and standing next to the cars, and he had like the tracksuits and stuff. Yeah.
Speaking of Pitbull,
yeah. I wonder what's going on with Fabian Eichner.
That guy can fucking work though.
Underrated, bro.
Yeah.
Very underrated.
I remember when he was in the Cruiserweight Classic, and I was like, "Oh, this guy's nuts." When he would do that run up moonsault shit, like he could fucking work. I definitely like to see where he is. Appreciate that, Tyrone Kid. The homie Hassan Batla says, "I remember that Suji Takeshita match was one of the big highlights last year. I think they see big money rivalry with these two. Also, I want David Finlay love. Happy weekend, homies. Appreciate that, Hassan."
Yeah, I ain't going for no more Finlay slander, bro. That guy's he's been on fire. He was incredible in the tournament as well.
There's tournaments like this, and just continuously being on the grind has helped Finlay so much. Like, yeah, I remember originally watching him and been like, this Nepo baby son of a bitch. Like, what is he doing here? But no, he's really came into his own over the last couple of years.
And you got to give him part of the credit with where Goto ended up this year, because like if Finlay doesn't play such a good foil for him in the G1 from last year, and the stuff that got brought up with his kids and his family and how that played into their feud, that was a big part of the year that Goto had this year.
And Finlay helped with that. You need a dance partner, and Finlay was that dance partner. Like, there was points that people thought that Finlay was going to win the big one from fucking Goto, so that means something.
Yeah, he was talking hella shit. I'm gonna beat you in front of your kids and show them who a real champion is. Like I'm gonna teach them about the disappointment I had watching my dad lose world title matches. They need to see that their father ain't shit. Like, whoa, hold on.
Yeah. Now Goto showed his ass. He showed him who's boss. But yeah, he definitely brought a lot of heat to that. And yeah, I think same as you, Hassan. I think Suji and Takeshita have they have a rivalry set up. Like they're going years to come, they could be to going at it and selling these two guys going.
Yeah.
Appreciate that, Hassan. Van Twinblade says, Phil, are you booking a Kyle Fletcher gets his heart broken because his boyfriend left him storyline to run with Takeshita leaving the family?
I think it's definitely happening, guys. I think Takeshita's turning face, and I do think he's leaving Don Callis' family. Sorry, Kyle Fletcher. That's going to be very painful for him.
Damn.
But I do think it's coming, man.
Yeah, I think I'm agreeing with you because I think if you're going to keep Don with either of those guys, it makes way more sense for him to be with Okada than it does with Takeshita.
Yeah.
Takeshita don't need it. He's just going to go out there and spit fire. And when he needs to cut a promo, we'll take it however he's going to give it up. Appreciate that, Van Twinblade. That's all of our super chats for now.
Appreciate you guys. So we got some humper chats. Okay, I read that one. Tony, this one is blank. I'm assuming there's supposed to be something in that one.
Probably.
But he sent a few here. He says, people were more worried about Stardom with the mass exits after Rossi was fired. He makes questionable moves, which worked out at the end for Stardom. Also, he prepared for Mayu's departure, unlike New Japan, who didn't prepare for Okada leaving. Yeah, Mayu ended up there a bit longer, but it's such a different situation because Mayu stayed in Japan. So
right,
it's different. And I think that they already had more people built up in Stardom that could already move up. I mean, nobody's just going to totally replace Mayu, but I do think they were in a better situation when Mayu left.
Yeah, then kind of what happened with Marigold, you know what I mean? There was kind of different circumstances.
Yeah. Would you say it's Marigold? Marigold.
Marigold.
I think this was supposed to be your first humper chat. I'm guessing, Tony. He says the G1 has a controversial winner this year at Takeshita. It seems like Gato doesn't trust the young guys to get over on their own, and it feels he needs an outside villain in order to do that. Is it day and night compared to what Okada is doing with Stardom? He means President Okada, not wrestler Okada. I don't know if it's that he doesn't trust the young guys. I just think that you had an advantageous situation with Takeshita coming in, and that's why I'm curious to see how this plays out going all the way into Wrestle Kingdom. Because if this does lead to Takeshita coming into the Dome as this outsider with the belt, and that's setting up a big match with Suji, that could work out because you could get a great main event out of that.
Right. Like it could end up working out for one of the guys we need to get over. I don't think they have a afraid to pull the trigger on the young guy problem. I think that they set up stories for a long time. Like they never just like tomorrow we're changing this whole thing. Like they've been forced into some of those moments, but they love to build guys. They take times with developing their wrestlers and they're trying to figure them out. I think they're still trying to figure out exactly where to place the guys and where they kind of land in there. I think they made some bonehead moves for sure, but I don't think it's as cut and dry as they don't believe in those guys, you know?
They did a lot in the G1 to build up some of these young guys.
Right.
Like I said, Shota's not quite there yet, but he can get there, I think. I'm still not quite ready to sell my Shota stock.
No.
I think Yuya is going to be there sooner than people think. I think Oya was another guy that's going to be there a lot faster than people think as well because he's starting to figure it out. He's still got some rough edges that he's got to straighten out, but he had a good run in the tournament. I mean, other than Zach and some of the other guys I enjoyed watching in the tournament. I really enjoyed watching Yuya this year, and
Right.
I think he's going to have a big year in 2026.
Right. Like you name like 5 or 6 guys that are the future of this business. Like it wasn't all a total wash. Like a bunch of guys did get over in this tournament.
I think Bolton Oleg is in a good spot. I think he's another guy to keep an eye on. And I mean, like I said, it's not as cut and dry as that there's nobody. I just think it's going to take some time to build these guys up and get them in the spot where they want them to be.
Right. But they're trying. The New Japan fans are accepting of whatever they're presenting to them too. It's just going to take time. They're still in a transition phase, as crazy as it sounds, you know?
I did not have people defending Evil coming out of the G1 on my bingo card. There were a lot of people doing the Evil deserves better thing, and I was like, this is crazy.
I saw a bunch of people being like, how could you do this to Evil? And I was like, damn, this is way different than a couple days ago.
Yeah. No, you would have thought the craziest thing ever happened in Japanese wrestling when he won the semifinals, man.
Right.
Timeline was wild when he won the semifinals, but and then a turnaround after the finals, like, how could you? How could you let this outsider beat him?
And shout out to Evil, like you said, not for nothing. Bro came to work. He can work when they leave the shenanigans to a minimum.
Yeah, great match. More from Tony P says, still, even though the G1 it has a funky ending, congrats to Takeshita for realizing his childhood dream, and congrats to Momo on finally winning the 5-star. By the way, it is interesting. She said any title in the world, though I think she is going for Saya, but still, I think she's probably going for Saya Kamitani as well.
Just trying to throw some mystery out there. Maybe she'll go after Mercedes. Nobody ever knows.
Yeah, maybe she's gonna go after Sari. Like, there's some options.
Shout out to Sari too, fucking working out there, brother.
Yeah, she's been great this year. Quietly, really good year as well. Tony P also says Bailey is catching strays because of her love of wrestling. What she said yesterday on the IG was Mercedes about going to Athena's show and wanting to see Stat wrestle live is wild. I see some tagging Triple H telling him to fire her for saying that. That's very weird. If you're doing that, you're a weirdo.
Something is wrong with these people, man. Like, genuinely in their brain, they're like, I'm gonna get this person fired. Like, that's not weird to you?
I just think that's weird in general, wanting people to lose their jobs. That's just weird.
It's so weird. When they want, I want AEW to die, and I'm like, what? That would be so many people losing their jobs. Do you understand what's going on here?
I hope they go out of business and hundreds of people lose their jobs. Like, okay.
Like, this is you're too deep if you're thinking that way. Like, this is way too deep.
Yeah. Tony P also says it felt like Bailey was ready to experience what Mercedes is doing now during parts at IG. During parts of that IG where Mercedes was talking about all the different people she had faced. By the way, what do you think will be the 10th belt Mercedes will be going after?
Number 10. I don't know. She's been flooding the timeline. Like, every time she sees someone with a belt, she put eye emoji under it. So it could be anybody. She challenged the West Coast Pro World Champion, Women's World Champion Johnny Robbie, I think, with some eye emojis.
I want it to be Sari.
Yeah.
I don't know if I believe she'll beat Sari, but I do want that match.
Real bad too. I think that match will fucking bang. The 10th one though, could be anything. She's gone to some deep places overseas, all over the country, all over the world at this point. It could be anything.
Yeah. I'm not sure. She definitely looked shook on Wednesday. Tony was like, we meet again. And she was just like, get me out of here. Get me away from this woman.
Yeah, no, Tony fucked her up. Her mentals are, every time she sees Tony now, she's like, I don't know what to think. I gotta go.
Tony is hilarious, bro. Tony is fucking hilarious, man.
Yeah, she's amazing.
Okay, we got some more from Tony P. Says, when it comes to WWE this week, the best and only thing from them is the new mother to be and great promo she cut. I am so happy for her after all of her struggles. She finally gets her wish to be a mom with the man she loves. Congrats to Jimmy and Trinity. Yeah, that was the big news coming out of Raw. It was such big news that they saved that segment all the way into the final hour. I thought they were gonna get that out of the way because it was one of the main things promoted for this show.
Right.
But they wanted people to hang around and watch this show so that we could see what was the hubbub with this big Naomi announcement. I'm glad that she's not injured. Let me just say that first and foremost, because I was getting worried with the way they were talking about it. So I'm glad it's good news. I'm glad she did not have this run cut short by a serious injury, because that would have really sucked.
Yeah, I was nervous about the whole thing, the way that they were talking in the weekend and people were saying things. I was like, this doesn't sound great. Great that was to throw us off, and this was amazing news, especially considering kind of the backstory around how Naomi and Jimmy got here and them finally having a kid and how excited they are to be in the moment. Her getting that moment on TV to be able to talk about it with the world championship on her shoulder, and where she's been, what she's done this year to get to that position. I think it's such a, this is like, will she ever have a better year than this? She's done some amazing things, capping it off by becoming a mom. I'm so excited, so happy for her, happy for them, happy for their family. I think this is great. And like you said, it's even better that she's leaving on good terms and not because of some injury or something.
Yeah, you could see in her face when she started the promo that it is bittersweet, because she has been wanting this kind of run, this kind of storyline for a long time, probably her whole career, and to get to where she is and have this kind of run, and then it be cut short by something that you've also been trying to do for a long time. And she's talked about, her issues with fertility for a while. That was no secret. She talked about it again on the podcast with Stephanie. And so I am happy, because she was basically like, we didn't think that this could happen. I didn't think I could get pregnant. And so, that's the best kind of news coming out of this, that she got everything that she wanted this year, getting a Money in the Bank win, getting to win a championship, and have that kind of win on the Evolution card. And, talking about at one point when she was SmackDown Women's Champion, wanting to be champion again and getting the custom belt. And I noticed when she was cutting the promo, she had a custom belt again. And so cool, man. It's so cool. Like having that moment with her dad at SummerSlam as well, having that being your last title defense with that belt, coming out with your dad. Like, what an amazing year for her, man. And I know, again, that's going to be bittersweet for some fans that wanted this run to continue, but I don't know. I'm happy for her, man. She deserves the best, man. And I'm really happy if she is going away for some time, that is to do something that she really wanted. So,
right.
I mean, Jimmy was talking about it, and shout out to Big Jim, bro, because
yes,
she was sitting on that couch, and he was like, "Look, man, she is not going to say it, but she feels like she's letting the fans down." And he stood up for her. I'm like, "Yo, that's what you're supposed to do, man." Like, shout out to Big Jim.
That other the other clip from the Stephanie's Places before, where he talks about her going to TNA and how he was so inspired and proud of what she did, and it got him choked up and everything. I'm like, this guy loves him some Naomi, loves him some of his wife. So very excited for both of them that they get to be there. So Stephanie is just, all podcasts are out now, Phil. Like, what's up with this? What's going on here?
This was the funny thing I thought about this entire situation, that they used all of this for a rollout for Stephanie's podcast. Like, they didn't have the announcement ready to air just like she was going to come out. They had the clip from the podcast ready to air along with her promo. I'm like, bro, doing all of this as a rollout for Stephanie.
Listen to the podcast after Naomi cut it on the show. They're like, hey, Stephanie's Places, though, don't forget, or whatever.
Crazy. That was hilarious to me, man.
Killed me. I'm like, wait, Stephanie? What's Stephanie doing? She's like, no, I'm gonna take over the podcasting thing, and I'm okay. Not mad at it.
Media Steph, what y'all?
I didn't know
Media
Steph was
Steph
going to be the
outside,
one
bro.
to get us out of here, Phil. I thought it'd be somebody else.
Nah, man. Media Steph, she about to do one of them DraftKings. She about to do one of them DraftKings ad reads and everything. She's about to be doing the YouTube face thumbnails and everything.
Oh no, Steph! Do not do the YouTube thumbnail face, my lady. Come on. Damn, Stephanie's Places.
that's what the thumbnail is gonna be.
Is the podcast also called Stephanie's Places?
No, it's what is the name of it? Damn. I keep wanting to say what do you want to talk about, but that's Cody's.
That's Cody.
Man, what is the top? What is the
Oh,
name
Cody's
of it?
the other outlet that they use now. It's like they have another one. It's Cody.
Yeah. Cody had an interesting soundbite that came out of this Becky interview. I was like, I think what's your story? That's the name of it.
The Cody thing was very interesting. When he said that in the group chat, I was like, I think he is.
Yeah. He's had a few clips that I'm like, you read between the lines of some of this stuff he's saying.
People started reading between the lines too. I was like, oh shit. Damn, yeah. All right, yeah.
Nah, Stephanie's trying to get Talk Is Jericho out of here. It's hilarious, boy.
Oh, there's Jericho news this week. I don't want to talk about it.
Nah, Jericho about to pull up next to her like, Talk Is Stephanie, baby. Talk Is Stephanie.
They're going to do it together. They're going to team up to pod. That's crazy.
They're going to team up.
Dog, that's crazy.
They're going to team up.
That's crazy. They're going to team up. You know, because Jericho's got to get his. Like, he's not going to just go out. Y'all not just going to be in his back. He used to get that interview. Now it's Stephanie. Damn, what's the pipeline? Like, you're like, Stephanie gets first and then Cody and then Jericho. Jericho's going to have to negotiate.
Yeah, man. He gotta negotiate a new deal. I don't know.
What you think? How you feel? Where you landed on Jericho back to WWE?
We're gonna wait and see before I say anything. I think a lot of things about this are pretty funny. But I think if anybody is shocked that he might be over there, I think he's been waiting. It's only a matter of time. If he stays in AEW after all of this, I wouldn't be surprised, but I would not be surprised at all if he goes back.
Would be the least shocking thing I ever saw seeing him go back. But I also wouldn't be shocked at all if he stayed in AEW. So
yeah. The other thing I really liked about the Naomi promo is how funny the promo in itself was, but also her making a point of going, I'm not vacating nothing. The last time I vacated a belt, I saw how y'all treated me on the way out. You gonna come in here and take my belt? No, get the fuck out of my ring. Get out of here.
Yeah, I loved her energy for that. Like, no, you gotta literally take this. I'm not gonna forfeit it up just because y'all want some bullshit again.
Yeah, nah, her also doing it, man. Y'all got about 9 months and some change to get y'all shit together. I'll be back on y'all ass. Like, I thought all of it was funny. The other very funny thing about this is Naomi was living her raps with all of those big gym tweets. She was not just putting on for all these big gym tweets. Like when you go back and reread some of them tweets now, it's like, oh, okay.
Timelines are adding up on this things. Like, oh, that was a real thing, you and Jim that night, huh? Shout out to them, though. Again, so happy for them. She's had an amazing run this last year, and all this is well deserved.
Yeah. Yep. Big Jim outside. Big Jim was standing backstage watching it. I thought that clip was really funny. And she comes back and hugs, and then of course your boy in the mix. He got to get his hug in. He got to be all in the video as well.
When he tweeted at the both, I'm like, why are you in here? What are you doing at the baby shower? Why are you standing up here? I was so turned off.
Right. He about to show up with the Burberry box.
He had to be like, I'm granting this maternity leave. I'm the one that's doing this. I signed off on the paperwork.
Yeah. It's a different company now, man. Right?
It is.
That was definitely a nasty soundbite from Punk, by the way, of Punk saying, "This is what I've always wanted WWE to be," and I was like, "Ooh, you wanted this right wing version of the company?"
I don't think this is what you wanted.
Oh, yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah. Nothing's anything. Anything's anything.
Yeah, but shout out to Naomi and Jimmy. Congratulations to them. Her saying that this bloodline is never going to be over. That was also very funny.
Hilarious.
We're getting another Fatu out in these streets.
It's never ending.
Yeah. Saga continues.
Shout out to Rikishi. Very excited about his life right now. I love
Bro,
it.
what was that clip of him? Did you see that?
Mm-mm.
Where he was just like, in my day, we didn't get pregnant during these kind of moments, like during a big push. You had to be careful. Like, whoa,
that was real?
Yeah, I thought I saw that clip where you're saying. I was like,
what?
That's a wild thing to say. Sometimes we don't need to end our day. It's cool.
I always want to be like, shut all the podcasts down, Phil, but I do a podcast, you know?
Yeah.
But I'm like, take these mics. Take all of them. But like, I don't take mine. So I'm being a hypocrite.
Yeah, I thought I saw that, and maybe I'm wrong. Stop.
What happened?
Super chat I just saw. Stop. Stop it.
I don't know what you're laughing about.
You'll see it in a minute.
And maybe I don't want to know. That's crazy.
I thought that this was let me now look for it, because I hope that I'm not misquoting Rikishi, but I was like, why do you say that?
There's got to be a line. This wrestling thing, I love it. I'm gonna talk about it for the rest of my life all the time. But there's lines to like, okay, wrestling. Some things take precedence over wrestling, and I think your daughter-in-law being pregnant takes precedence over whatever you think you're talking about with your son's kid. Rikishi, though, clickbait, numbers, time, sound bites, whatever his podcast is called. I don't know.
Yeah. I'm hoping that maybe it's a misquote. I cannot find it.
Oh, good.
I thought it was something like that where he was just like, it was one of those, because he said great things about them. I don't want to mischaracterize this, because he's said great things about the situation and how happy he was with them and how they are inspirational to a lot of people. Mm-hmm. But I thought there was like a clip from his podcast where he said something, and I was kind of like, maybe leave that part out. But I could be wrong. Mm-hmm. The fact that I can't find it now is maybe I'm misquoting him. So if I'm misquoting him, my bad.
Yes. Shout out to the family. Another Fatu.
Yeah, saga continues.
The saga continues. Let's get into a few more of these super chats before we move forward. Speed Punk says, do you think they'll do Sammy G versus Fletcher for the TNT title at some point? Being Fletcher took out Dustin, Sammy's mentor.
I would think so. It seemed like they were heading in a certain direction with Sammy and a storyline with him before Dustin had to go and get double knee surgery. So maybe they're having to change the direction a bit.
Yeah, it feels like, I don't know if Sammy will be the one to beat him, but I definitely see him getting a title match. Yeah. Fletcher is going to, I think, hold this for a while. Shout out to Dustin. Like Phil said, double knee surgery this week. That's insane. Speedy recovery to the OG. A lot of years of wear and tear on that body, so he definitely needed these things.
Yeah.
Appreciate that, Speed Punk. But yeah, and at some point, I think we'll see that match. And then Kenneth Love says, "A Black Fatu?" ? I'm not gonna say what I was gonna say. It was right there on the tip of the tongue. I'm gonna keep it.
It's quite a few. It's some Black Fatus. Like they have a lot of mixed kids. So
yeah, all of Jay's kids. Careful out there, Jay. You been caught up on the Jay stuff?
I know what you're talking about.
You don't know what I'm talking about?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Nothing. I haven't seen it.
No. No.
Me neither. I don't know nothing.
I ain't seen nothing.
There's this video of this guy like giving Jay Uso and another wrestler on the roster like hats or something, like outside of the venue, like right next to their car. And Jay Uso does not want to be in this video so bad. And the guy's just like, "Can I get a photo of y'all?" And he's just like, "Dog, leave me alone." Careful out there, you guys. Put your phones away.
Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes wrestlers are in their right to not want to be bothered.
Yep.
And sometimes read the room. Sometimes it's okay to be like, yeah, no, I see you don't want to be bothered right now. Leave them alone.
Some people
are human beings too.
Yeah, totally. Some people don't understand when you're catching a wrestler after a show, call time is like noon to 2 p.m. Sometimes they've been at this venue for 8 hours, 9 hours, a long time, just sitting here, being in places, moving around. Some of them just had a match. Just keep that in mind. You're capturing somebody essentially after a full-time 8-hour shift of work, and you're asking for autographs and pictures and shit, and they just want to get back to the hotel. So, but I be seeing people at the hotel. When I see them at the hotel, I'm like, you guys, please get out of here.
Don't do that. Yeah, don't do that.
I've had to stop Hobbs before. I'll just say that. Like, do not kill these guys, dude. They're just just standing here.
It is a real quote.
Oh, you found it?
It is a real quote.
Oh no.
Yeah.
I was hoping you didn't.
What are you saying? It's a little yeah. Yeah, he was saying it's a little irresponsible back in my day. Guys didn't get pregnant when they had to strap chime change, I guess. Oh, I don't think you should have said that.
Was that not a bit? Because does he know that guys can't get pregnant?
Yeah. Yeah, sometimes old heads. It's cool. Yeah.
Because like that would never happen, Rikishi, because they can't. And they're not going to take maternity leave because they don't give a fuck.
We could be missing the tone as well because this is, of course, somebody aggregating the quote from.
Because that sounds like that could be a bit.
He could be just joking, and he might be, but still, it's kind of crazy to say.
Not the time.
That's a little crazy. That's a little crazy.
Yeah, probably could have kept that.
But he could have. But I don't know the context of the tone, so.
Because I feel like they're another terrible guy that's been in the wrestling business for a long time said something along those lines, and he was serious.
Yikes. Yeah, the Becky response, Phoenix, was very funny, and Naomi's response to it was really funny as well. I don't know if
people
you saw
taking that serious. I did see that. I'm like, you guys don't just stay out of people's business.
People saying that Oscar's at it again was also very funny.
I saw the pictures lined up with Oscar and every one of them. I was like, that is really funny.
Yeah. Yeah. And then also thinking about it, and I think it was revealed on the Stephanie pod that Naomi's been pregnant for 7 weeks. And so she was pregnant at Evolution. She did that big crazy no disqualification match with Jade, pregnant, did all of those crazy bumps in that match. Wow.
That jaded bump to the table. Oh shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy. She did the match, the triple threat match, and Io did the big stomp on her stomach. That's crazy to think about. Wrestling
Insane. Yeah, it's I can't believe it, but it seems like everything is good, so we're good.
Yeah. Speaking of Asuka, they're doing this storyline with Asuka and Io. I'm assuming this is leading to big Asuka heel turn. Asuka, in my opinion, Asuka is not wrong.
No,
because she's kind of like, wait a minute, you told me to stay backstage, and you cool with Rhea now? That's who you want? That Rhea's your friend now? I think all of that is funny. She also did the clip. If you have not seen the clip of her on her YouTube channel, where she's explaining all of her history with Io back from Japan and like their relationship as her senpai and how she didn't think any of that stuff mattered. And the reason why something like the triple tails happened is because she was never going to treat her like she was beneath her. She treated her as an equal. And that's part of the reason she's so disappointed with what's happening in the company. Bringing the Japanese stuff into this and their real life relationship into this is really cool. That's something that you would think WWE would take something like that and air it on TV. But if you haven't seen it, it's on her YouTube channel.
I definitely want to check that out because that sounds interesting and their history is rather deep. I'm happy that they're finally going forward with this. Seems like my friend here has pitched that match for like as long as they've been in the company together. So I'm glad they're finally getting to it.
Yeah. Yeah, we've got a vacant title. I've seen some people say Rhea should win. I personally think that they should put the belt back on Io because I don't think she had a great run with that belt, even though she had a good few weeks leading up to WrestleMania and got the big win at WrestleMania. I feel like there's still so much they could do with her as champion. And if you're teeing up an Asuka heel turn and you could potentially do the one-on-one match on the pay-per-view, get to it. Get to it. They'll always have time to go back to Rhea as champion. Rhea doesn't need to be champion right now. There's so much story stuff you could be doing with Io as champion, in my opinion. So I don't know. I'm curious to see what the match is going to be at Clash in Paris now.
Because Stephanie still got the shot.
Yes, Stephanie is still owed a match, and Io is technically still owed a match as well because the show that Naomi was initially pulled from, she was supposed to wrestle Io for the title that match. So both of them are owed a match.
Mm-hmm. Damn.
And you have Roxanne in the mix because Roxanne beat Io the other night and what started the fallout between her and Asuka. So that should be interesting as well. You also have Lyra in the mix because Lyra can't challenge for the Intercontinental title anymore. She's had a strong year. So you've got some options.
Yeah. There's some really good options beyond that. So this Naomi thing is going to work out for somebody else. Pretty beneficial.
Yeah.
Dope. Super dope. That's all of our super chats.
Appreciate you. We've got some more Humper chats.
Mm-hmm.
The Tony P says AEW is okay this week. Not much to talk about with the Go Home show. Even though it was good, shocked about the tag team draw. And NJF keeping his contract. As for Petty of the Week, best choice of the winner with that. Host choice for the winner. With that, have a fun and self weekend, everyone. What do you mean by that, Tony? Self weekend? I'm guessing you dropped a word out there. Maybe self-care weekend?
Yes. Everybody should have that.
Yeah. Safe. That's what he meant.
Oh, have a safe weekend. Yeah, everybody definitely have a safe weekend.
Host choice petty of the week. I gotta give it to the Fed.
Mm-hmm.
Counter programming using your big rights agreement with ESPN right away to go. Nah, we got a show in September too. Y'all busy?
Yep. Definitely went far and away. They've done a bunch of petty things just this week, but launching a full on this wins it.
Yeah, we'll get into some of the stuff from Dynamite when we get into our Forbidden Door talk.
Mm-hmm.
From Tyrone Kid, he says, "What's up, Graps? First off, I want to be the first to say I acknowledge the future NTC newborn tribal chief. Congrats to Naomi. Next, Tony Khan must pay for his crimes. Seeing Grado and Like a Prayer was great. Then I watched again and saw Archer."
Shout out to Grado getting the shot. I think that he represents something for those overseas fans. So getting to see him in an AEW show, I think is super fun. Yeah, we're gonna get into a couple of things on Dynamite I thought were interesting when we get into Forbidden Door talk.
Yes. Yeah, appreciate you, Tyrone Kid. He's got one more. He says, "I instantly went, wait a minute. They don't put Lance on TV like that. No slander." Then I watched again and saw Ring of Honor all over, and I was not sad, but disappointed. You will pay, Tony, but for right now, I'll take this moral victory.
You should take that victory lap. Well deserved and well earned.
From Anonymous says, "Happy Saturday, Grapsody brothers. Good stuff as usual. Should AEW really consider Lashley for the world champion? His look in and out of the ring, as well as his notoriety, can't be a bad thing. Correct? Mainstream stuff." Yeah, I think if you want an upcoming challenger for Hangman, Lashley makes a lot of sense.
He does.
I'm not saying that Lashley should win, but I do think he should be a challenger for Hangman. I think he makes a ton of sense.
Yeah, Lashley is like Anonymous is describing. Looks amazing in ring and out ring. Represents something. Former world champion. I think he's a big hill to climb and something that Hangman could definitely have fun with. I think he should be up there, but like Phil says, I don't think he should win the world title.
Yeah, I do think with how hot Hurt Syndicate is, even with the controversy around them, I do think it makes a lot of sense for him to be in a world title picture soon.
It do. He just don't work enough matches for me to want him to win the belt. That's it.
Yeah, I agree. But he does still feel like a big star. He does feel like a guy that should be a threat to the world title.
Definitely.
More from Anonymous. He says, "If you're TK and you can renew contracts for current non-title holders for 5+ years, name your top 5 or more men and women for TK. These would be his AEW lifers." You got to lock Tony Storm in at this point.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Put the stamp on her. Make her the franchise player around here. That's the one. Osprey, Swerve, Max.
Hanger's a lifer. I don't see Hanger going nowhere else.
Yeah, I couldn't. I don't think he will. Bucks.
Yeah. Well, he's saying non-title holders.
Oh, I said, gotcha.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, that kind of eliminates me initially saying Tony.
Mm-hmm. I think a lot of the people we kind of described earlier, like Brody King, Mark Briscoe, I think those are guys that are like they're AEW, you know.
I think you gotta lock in Kyle while you can, because Kyle at this trajectory is going to be a guy that WWE is going to be interested in.
Oh, definitely. They got to be interested in him now, I'm sure. Like his look, how his height, like everything about him screams.
But see, Kyle's also a title holder. I just, but no, Kyle's a guy you gotta lock in. I'm trying to think other guys. Willow is not a title holder. You gotta lock in. Mm-hmm. You gotta lock in Willow.
Megan Bain, I think, is going to be.
Willow just get a new contract?
Pretty recently, yeah, I think so. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. She was talking about it on one of those interviews that she did.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Statlander is one of them.
Yeah. I think the other people are like, people are gonna figure out where they are, where they want to be, you know.
Yeah, non-title holders. I don't know. the Amanada situation is so interesting because Tony clearly likes Amanada. He keeps her on TV. He keeps her in matches.
Always on TV.
Yeah. I just don't know what's going on. Like, where's the actual push here? She still loses a lot, which I don't quite understand. For me, I feel like she's so good. She has an it factor. You've got to lock her in, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Non-title holders.
Yeah, I think Amanada's definitely up there. I just thought of a bunch of titles. I was gonna be like Nick Wayne. He has a title.
Does.
You got to lock down those young people that got time. You know.
Yeah. Definitely Bandito. If you're not considering ROH title, Bandito's that guy special. You gotta make sure you've got that guy locked in.
Ironclad, tight, because what they're doing over there, they want him bad, and they could use him. Bandito, what a guy!
Yeah, I'm trying to think. All of the non-title holders, like Brody is another one. You gotta make sure Brody's locked in.
Yep. Yeah, as I was saying, a lot of the guys we described earlier.
I mean, yeah, I'm sure there's no worry with Will Ospreay at this point. He's locked in. He's not going nowhere.
You got him. You got him. I think most of the top, like I think only top guy. I think Max is the only one that is not. I won't say the wild card, but the only one that like could potentially be out of here. Before anyone else, I think, you know. Like, I don't think Swerve has a plan to go back over there. Ospreay doesn't have any interest. I think Kenny Omega probably retires over here, like guys like that. But I think like Max still has so much time, and he's still Max that they're gonna come for him.
Yeah, I don't see him going anywhere anytime soon.
Yeah, he better not. Be dumb to go now.
Yeah.
Oh, Daniel Garcia. Remember there was that talk before. They need to get him back in the mix.
Well, yeah, he just signed a contract last year.
Yep.
There was the big story about whether he was going to stay or he was going to leave.
Yeah, that Max match. I forgot the match he should have won.
Yeah. Damn. I still think that was a mistake. I still think that was a mistake. I still think he should have won that match.
Well, it legit came down to they didn't know what he was going to do.
Yeah.
But it would have worked out for Max either way if he would have lost. Like, it wouldn't have been like, oh, but you set him up. Sending the guy with the big win over your fucking big star, I understand why they did what they did.
Yeah. See, from Javier from Texas, he says, why are so many wrestlers so eager to forfeit all their leverage by stating in interviews that WWE is their dream? I understand having the goal, but saying it in public is like saying to Tony Khan, please don't offer me any money. But see, the tough thing about that is this is wrestling, and you do have leverage by saying that. If Tony as a booker already knows this guy's saying that, then that might up their value and that might push him to offer them more to stay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a hard kind of space to exist in because when I see it, I'm like, well, why are you doing that? But it feels like this day and age, saying it actually helps. I don't think it hurts anymore. Like, I think when wrestlers or influencers or anybody are like, hey, I have this interest in WWE, you might be able to leverage that shit into a tryout or into some kind of thing over there. So I understand.
Yeah, but I just think the reality of the situation is a large percentage of wrestlers, the dream was always to be in WWE. AEW hasn't been around long enough for people to build their career around being specifically in AEW. You do have people like Speedball and some people that have a connection to the wrestling that is, foundational for AEW. But for the most part, a large amount of wrestlers, their dream was always to go to WWE.
Yep. And things are changing. I think it's going to be a slow process. We will start seeing wrestlers that are like, I want to go to AEW. My dream is to work that style and work with all those guys and do that. And I think it's going to become a thing. They're still a brand new ass company. It's been 6 years, you guys.
Yeah. AEW is still relatively new.
Yeah.
We're talking about a company that's been around for over 40 years.
Right.
In comparison to a company that hasn't even been around for a decade yet.
Exactly.
One more from Javier. He says, did y'all catch the technical spectacle match on Collision a few weeks ago? I loved it, but I know it probably pissed a lot of people off. Would have loved to have seen more discourse about it, but nobody watches Collision.
That's the issue, is people. It's like after our pod, it's on the same day as our pod, so it's like a week until we get back to it.
Mm-hmm.
And there's so many things that have happened by then. It's hard to be like, oh yeah, and then Collision. But I definitely checked that match out because I wanted to see Nigel again, because I kind of knew where they were leading to. Seeing Lee out there, I think, was awesome. Daniel Garcia, etc. I think all those guys are great. So I definitely loved it. I thought the outcome was what the kind of predicted outcome. We needed a match like this to be added to Forbidden Door with Nigel, you know?
Yep. That's all of our Humper chats for now.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get into this card for Forbidden Door.
Yep. It's tomorrow. It's less than 24 hours away at this point.
Yep. Forbidden Door will take place on Sunday at the O2 Arena in London, England. It's an early pay-per-view because of the time difference. So we're getting an afternoon show. Can't be too mad at that, especially because AEW shows are usually long. So getting it in the middle of the day and still having the rest of your day sounds like a blast.
It's a breakfast show for me, Phil. It starts at 10 a.m. Pacific time over here. So that should be fun.
Yeah, I think it's 1 p.m. Eastern time, right? So it's I think it's noon for me.
Yep.
But yeah, so far so good. Although the discourse around the show has been, is this really a forbidden door? Kind of like a permitted entrance more than a forbidden door, because there's not as many New Japan matches or New Japan wrestlers on the show. Despite that, I do think that this is a really good card.
It is.
I did say we were going to wait until we had the full card before I said anything about like the New Japan involvement in the show. I do wish that they had done a bit better. I do think the missing element here, and I hate to be this guy because we hear this constantly. What's the story? Where's the story? I do think that they need to do more around this show of building like adversarial storylines between the AEW and New Japan wrestlers. And I think that's the missing element coming into the show. I don't think there was enough of that this time around.
Yeah, I think that has always kind of been the big draw of it, of unpredictability, kind of not knowing the next step, not knowing who you're going to see on which shows, and kind of that rivalry. There isn't like, I only felt it this week when the War Dogs showed up and kind of terrorized for a little bit. That's the only time I felt like, oh, this is like warfare. It is New Japan versus AEW. It hasn't really felt like New Japan versus AEW, because most of the card is AEW people versus AEW, and like those matches are gonna be so awesome that I'm not mad about it. But I do understand the people that are like, this is a permitted entrance show.
Yeah, because I mean, we've been doing this show for a while now, and while I think the concept has grown a bit stale because we see so many cross-promotional shows, I think the thing that would change some of the perception around this is not just getting like the special attraction / dream matches, and actually getting matches that have a story that's been building for a few weeks or so, or something that you could build upon from, like, you know, Wrestle Dynasty or something. If they're going to do Wrestle Dynasty as an annual thing, I think they should do a better job of like building connected matches between both of those shows during the year.
Mm-hmm. Maybe that's part of the reason why, because we talked about it a couple of times. They have Wrestle Dynasty now because it is trying to kind of changes what this show represents, because we've already seen kind of a crossover thing. It's in the Dome. It represents something different. I think that, but yeah, I kind of agree with you. There is no like strong crossover type feud where you're like, oh damn, what's gonna happen? Like, what's the kind of consequences for both companies? Like, I think Max and Hangman have that, but they're both AEW guys. This is over the AEW World Championship. It's not really the Forbidden Door type thing. Swerve and Okada, I think the story hasn't been told as deeply as I thought they were going to get into. Like, I thought it was going to be a little bit more meat on the bone. I think that's just kind of what it is. It's like great matches, and I'm going to have a great time tomorrow, but the stories aren't as deep as I would love them to be.
Yeah, I agree. It kind of feels like they're building towards something with the War Dogs being on this card. I'm expecting there to be a match announced for the War Dogs tonight.
Yes.
Maybe because I've seen people tossing around War Dogs versus the Ops. Maybe that's the way to get the trios titles on.
Oh, yeah. Because kind of what went down on Dynamite. That makes sense.
Yeah. So hopefully that's the case. You've got 3 guys in the War Dogs that I think it would make sense for them to be here. Mm-hmm. So we'll see.
Yeah, that'll be great too if they do that.
Of course, one of the War Dogs, Gabe Kidd, will be taking part in a lights out steel cage match. The lineup for this match is insane. I mean, just the idea of this match, 10 guys in a cage, is crazy in itself. But this lineup is wild. We've got Kenny Omega, Kota Ibushi, Darby Allin, Hiroshi Tanahashi, and Will Ospreay taking on Claudio Castagnoli, Jon Moxley, the Young Bucks, and Gabe Kidd. I still don't know what to expect out of this match in all of the best ways. I think this is going to be ridiculous. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. Hopefully everybody stays safe, but very much looking forward to the chaos of this match.
There's so many guys that I'm looking forward to interacting, like seeing the Bucks interact with Kenny and Kota, I think is going to be amazing. Seeing Will Ospreay interact with Gabe Kidd, like that potentially was going to be a one-on-one match. I think at one point was teased for this show. So seeing them in there, mix it up, I think is going to be awesome. Seeing Darby Allin still trying to kill the Death Riders and what he's going to bring to this match, I think is super interesting. There's so many sub-genres and little extra feuds going on, mini feuds in this match that I think that are going to be enhanced.
Yeah, the Darby stuff against the Death Riders since All In has been pretty great week to week. So I'm glad that that is really the fixture of this match, and I assume we're going to get more of this even after this match. The Darby stuff on Wednesday of him being in the body bag after Will Ospreay did the switcheroo. He ran backstage with Marina over his shoulder, then he comes back out with the body in the body bag and ends up being Darby, and he jumps out like a spider monkey on people. That in itself was very funny. Darby continuing to haunt this team every time they're doing something. He just pops up somewhere like the ghost of Christmas past. Very funny stuff. The Young Bucks are going through their transformation since they lost their EVP status. I did look it up at the beginning of the podcast when you guys were talking about BTE. There's a short clip that dropped on the BTE YouTube channel where they're talking about what are we going to call our finisher now, because it's not the EVP trigger, and I believe it'll fixturely be the BT trigger again, which makes a lot of sense.
That's sick. That's dope. I'm happy that they're doing those again and connecting those tissues. The stuff that they've been on post All In has been amazing. All the little bits that they've been done with the Titantrons and the merch and the songs and the pyro all has been great. But beyond that, the matches that they've been in have been amazing. Like they're working like the Young Bucks we know and love. They're heels, but they're kind of working babyface because they're doing a lot of the exciting things that we love. But it's still that the crowd will get into them and get them off of their game, and that's when they kind of perform at their best. Legit loving everything that they've been doing.
I don't know if it's feel like it's low key. I was about to say low key. The Young Bucks are low key tag team of the year.
They are. Yeah.
They've had a great year in terms of just like the in-ring and like the story stuff heading into All In. Since they've been back, they've been on a great tear.
Yes, like legit every match has been insane. Their match with Ospreay and Swerve is my tag team match of the year. Like they are the guys. They're doing it.
Yeah. Still don't know what to make of this match as a whole. I think it's very funny that Hiroshi Tanahashi was one of the first guys announced for this show. Not even just first New Japan guys. He was one of the first talent overall announced for this show because, of course, the Forbidden Door term was coined by Tanahashi. And on his farewell tour, he made it known pretty early on that this was going to be his last Forbidden Door. He was going to be on this card. So I thought they were going to have a big one-on-one match planned for him with an AEW guy. Nope, they're going to throw him in this big nuts 10-man lights out cage match.
Like looking at the card, and they were like, which match would you add Tanahashi to? That's the absolute last match I would add Tanahashi to. But I mean, the game is the game. We did also, like we were describing earlier, see him run down to the ring. He did just do G1. Like, he is banged up. Maybe putting him in a one-on-one match, they thought that was a liability or whatever's connected to that. Yeah. But it's still great seeing him there, seeing him on the card, seeing him mix it up with a couple of these guys for the last time in a lot of cases, I think is awesome.
Yeah. Cannot say enough how much I've enjoyed his farewell tour. He's done several things this year that I've surprisingly gotten emotional about. Like watching him after Windy City Riot, I'm like, man, he's really leaving. And like even when he got his 100th win in the G1 and he did that promo to end the show and he was air guitaring it, I was like, I don't like this. Like, he's really leaving. And like the pictures we got from the Rev Pro show last night and like him next to Shibata doing Shibata's pose near the ropes. And I'm like, I'm having a hard time processing that he's leaving.
This is it, man. Tanahashi about to be done.
Yeah. But what a run to go out on, man. Can't say enough how much I've enjoyed it. Seeing him run down to the ring yesterday was one of the few times this year where I'm like, oh, he's looking haggard because he's been fighting through it for most of the year.
Yeah, now that was on display, trying to use them knees to get down there.
Yeah. We've got kind of a controversial outcome to the Eliminator tournament to set up a three-way tag team elimination match, to be specific.
Oh, okay.
For the AEW World Tag Team Championship. The elimination aspect makes it interesting because I think most people expected this is a triple threat to avoid a certain team getting pinned here.
Because that's what I thought. I was surprised. I didn't know this little extra element of it being an elimination match. That changes things. Yeah, people were upset. Is that a way to describe it? Indifferent about about the finish of this tournament, because the AEW tournaments are so important to what the brand is, and throughout the history of the company, usually finals, it's about the guys and girls or people that are in the match. It's about them. It's not about time limit draws. It's not about interference. It's not about any of that. It's like, this is the finals. We're gonna get to it. And this one, I felt something going into the match, like something don't feel right. I don't know why.
Yeah.
I didn't really like talks around it or anything around it. I knew the match was going to be fire just because if you give FTR time, that's the FTR's best attribute is giving them time, like letting their matches develop, letting them set things up and letting them get to a big conclusion. That's the way that you do it. So I knew that was going to happen, but them doing a draw, and they have to figure this time, the announced time thing out, Phil. They have to figure it out, because anytime they just do it in a random match and that's going to play into the finish, I don't like it. Like, if you're going to do it, start doing it for every match, or start doing it for every big match, or like add a time when we should know that that's going to be an important factor of the match.
Yeah, it's a shame because I think the finals was really good. I think it was an exceptional match. Bandito and Brody worked very well together. FDR, despite what some people say about them, they're one of the best tag teams in the world.
Yes.
You could see in this match and so many matches, they are experts at long matches at this point. Like, they're so good at building tension throughout a match and building to a crescendo. And you can see that throughout this match. Man, just incredible match. I would have preferred a definite finish because it is a tournament, and you built this tournament up that we were going to get a winner, and to get to this point, and then it kind of feels like, all right, well, why do we do any of that if we're just not going to have a definitive winner? We're going to do a time limit draw. I didn't really care for that. And then, of course, we have the talking points around her syndicate, and that led to some people being upset with this finish because people assumed it's because, her syndicate doesn't want to be pinned. I'm seeing it on Wikipedia that it's an elimination match. Mm-hmm. So I guess that's correct. Because I didn't know that either until I just read it.
Yeah. I'm like, that's surprise. That's news to me because people thought like, oh, it's a triple threat match, like you're saying. That means they don't even have to be involved in the pin to lose those championships. So that's that. This is interesting. I expected FTR to beat Brodito and go on to defeat the Hurt Syndicate at this show, because I feel like they've been telling the story with Cope and Christian and FTR for some months now, and I think that's where we all kind of expected them to lead to for All Out. But I don't think that AEW expected Brodito to get so hot also. Like I knew they were like, we got a good thing here, but I don't know if they thought that it was going to be as hot as it is.
Yeah, I think that's part of it. I think they wanted to reward Brody and Bandito with a spot on the card. I think that's a bit of it. And I can't say that that's wrong. Brody has been in a lot of tournaments for this company, and he loses a lot of these tournaments. So I see it in one breath, but I do think they should have given us a definitive win because it is a tournament, and you've been building to this outcome. This match it took up most of the time on Dynamite, and for have such a long match on Dynamite, and then to just not get a finish. And it's not just that you didn't get a finish, you didn't get a finish in a build for a match for the pay-per-view. I don't really care for that booking choice, but
30-minute time limit, and you do that with 30 minutes. It's kind of like
But the match was very, very good, and I do think the match at the pay-per-view is also going to be very good.
Of course. Yeah, because I think the triple threat, they had a triple threat at All In too for the belts too, right? That was fun, super fun.
Yes, I did enjoy that.
That's just going to become their match.
Go figure. It is still fun to just watch these big guys throw people around, and I think we're going to see more of that in this match, which is also funny about the Hurt Syndicate discourse, for a lack of a better word. People will be just like, oh, why do we even need these guys? But then when you see them in front of a live crowd, and you see how over they are, and you see how fun it is in a live audience to watch them decimate guys and throw people around, it's like, well, because it's like, well, why do they need to win so much? And why, as heels, are they just beating everybody up? And I'm like, yeah, but it's over. It's working.
It's super over. That's the fun. Being in there and hearing the crowds, how they react, like they are a different type of act. But thinking of Brody and Lashley going at it got me very excited. Like there's some benefits to this whole thing. You know what I mean? It's not a true, like, whatever people are building it as. I think some people are upset because they think FTR is going to go over and they think that's going back to the well, or that her syndicate is just going to kind of continue their reign of terror. I'd love to see Brodito pull this out and be defending these championships every Wednesday and going crazy, but I just can't really see it.
Yes.
I think FTR somehow is going to win the belts.
That's where I was going to. I kind of think FTR is going to win, and that's going to set up the match with Copeland and Christian at All Out in Toronto. But I also would not be surprised if Hurt Syndicate retains.
At all. Like that'd probably be one of the most least surprising outcomes if they just go in there, win, and just leave. I'd be like, oh yeah, that makes sense too.
Could go either way, but my gut is that FTR is going to find a way to win this match.
Yep.
And especially with the stuff you can set up out of this, FTR versus Cope and Christian, you've got Young Bucks seemingly on the verge of a face turn, and you could potentially do FDR Bucks again. You've got some options. You've got some other tag teams that would make a lot of sense to be chasing FDR as champions as well. Yeah, I kind of feel like this might be the way to get the belts off of Hurt Syndicate.
Yep. And I've seen a lot of people being like, "Oh, we've already done that. We blah blah blah." But like, what FTR represented, you saw this week on Dynamite. If they're the tag team champions and they're doing that every week, and they're doing this that Bullet Club Gold match that they did, and they're kind of just leading the way as the tag team champions, having great matches with all the tag teams, that's going to do a lot for these belts. I understand that people don't want to go back, but it does something for the championships.
I agree. But could go either way to me. I think I could. To me, I think the biggest like surprise outcome out of this would be Brody and Bandito winning. I just don't see that happening.
No, I don't. It should, but it won't.
It'd be a fun outcome out of this, but yeah, I don't see it. Got Kazuchika Okada defending the Unified Championship against Swerve Strickland. Very excited for this match as a big fan of Swerve Strickland, that he's getting a match with a guy of the caliber of Kazuchika Okada. It's just still funny to me seeing how outside Swerve is. Like seeing that clip this week of him on Complex talking about the Clips album and just some of the other stuff, like him being mentioned on streams and stuff. It's just wild to just see how big of a star this guy is, and getting a match with a guy like Okada, who is a main event big match wrestler. And this kind of it totally tells you where the relationship is with New Japan and AEW as well, because if this was a match before Okada signed, this would be completely different. If Okada's coming from Japan to have this match with Swerve, it's totally different.
Huge different circumstances, different all of this. Like the match is gonna be incredible, and I'm super excited about it. But it's just funny where we've gotten in these last couple of years and what it represented. You talk about Swerve, made me think about, I don't think we ever talked about it on this podcast. Remember when Max B, there's that clip of Max B giving it up to Swerve off that I was like, I don't know what
in jail
at this point. Max B's giving it up to Swerve in jail. Like, this is crazy.
Hands down though.
Yeah, right.
Hands down.
I'm like, the world's crossing
the metrics?
so wild. Yeah, like what? This is crazy. Like I didn't know that Max B knew about that, but that's where we've landed. Super excited about the match though. Like Phil said, Swerve and Okada with time, a championship stakes on the line. I think is going to represent a lot. There's been some talks and some controversy and some things this week over Swerve, because he's talked about wanting to take some time off to heal some injuries or something. So people are just like, oh, he's going to lose this match and that's going to be it. And I was like, is it that easy? Is that how it's going to work? I don't know.
Yeah, I could see him losing here, and this is kind of a way to give him some time off for a while. I assume that's going to be the case with both him and Ospreay. They're both going to take some time off for a bit, and that's fine. I mean, you've got some things coming up for fall. C2 is going to come up soon. You got a Continental Classic, and you can use that as an avenue for some other guys and to give them kind of a like a mini push going into the tournament. So it's not the end of the world. I do think it looks crazy with the sheer amount of people that are out. Yeah, with just the sheer amount of people out, like I mean, like Orange Cassidy's still out, Pac is out. Now you're talking about adding Ospreay and Swerve to that list. You still got, we don't know what the situation is with Private Party. You've got quite a few people missing for TV that, it is starting to add up.
Where the fuck is Jack Perry at?
He was using that syringe to help reinvigorate Luchasaurus.
Oh, he was the one getting Luchasaurus back, but he can't come back too.
That looked like his sleeve in that video. He was resuscitating Dino Cuz. I will never not think it's funny that Grant called him Dino Cuz.
Dino Cuz hits hard. Listen, just get Jurassic Express back together if you want to make it happen. Like Jack Perry with the I think would hit very hard, but I don't know what's going on. Yeah, injury bugs are kind of not just AEW, like all of wrestling. It's been kind of fucked up.
Yeah, I've said where I've stood on Twitter. Get them brown trunks back out the closet. Tee up Tarzan, boy. It's time. It's
Get it
time.
ready. Yeah, I don't know what this is. It's been a long time. This guy has not been on TV though. Feel like a long, long time.
Yeah. But yeah, I do think Okada's going to win here. I
Yes.
still think the move for All Out Toronto is probably going to be Okada versus Omega.
Mm-hmm. That's the way to go. Kenny Omega, he's gonna do that thing. But yeah, I think Okada is gonna definitely beat Swerve today or tomorrow. I think they're gonna have an amazing match. I think that it's gonna feel like a Forbidden Door 1-on-1 with these two guys.
Yeah, very excited for that match. Tony Storm will be also defending the AEW Women's World Championship against Athena, the winner of the Casino Gauntlet. Yeah, I don't see Tony losing here.
No,
I just don't see it.
I
think this match is going to be very good, but I think it's fairly predictable.
Yeah, that's the only thing that's kind of messed it up about because I think they had one of, if not the best story build going into this match with what they've been doing. Just often being in the arena around whatever women's match is happening on the show or in the matches themselves, like this week, and just kind of continuously antagonizing each other. I think the stories that they told were great, but I'm like, is there any fucking world where Athena wins this match? And I just can't. There's no world that I brought up in my mind where she wins this match.
Yeah. I still think there's something to the fact that they're keeping Megan Bayne away from Tony.
Mm-hmm.
I still kind of think Megan's going to be the one that beats Tony.
Yeah, me too. Unfortunately. And Athena, see, this is what the ROH shit, this is where it muddies things up. Because if that belt was non-existent, I think a lot more for Athena that she could win this match. But she still has that championship. They haven't really resolved what she is over there. I think they have to fully resolve her Ring of Honor thing before she fully gets into what the AEW stuff has been. But beyond that, I am happy that post All In, she's been on almost every show, both Collision and Dynamite. She's been having matches. She's been doing what she should do as one of the top 3 or 4 or 5 women's wrestlers in this entire company.
Yes. I think they've got to sort out the Ring of Honor stuff. It's time. I've been saying it for over a year. It's time for her to drop that belt and come to the main show. It's time.
Do you just say fuck it and drop it to Mina next week, or do you still do the Billy Starks thing?
I highly doubt it. You're gonna have 2 belts, Mina.
That doesn't make sense.
No,
yeah.
I don't see it. But I have enjoyed Athena on Dynamite, and if this proves anything, it's that she should have been on Dynamite for a long time now, and the move moving forward should be to put her on Dynamite.
Easy as that, because she's fit in like a glove. She's with the promos. I love that promo that she did. I think it was on Collision where she had her foot on Tony's neck, and when she was like, "This is where the best wrestle, and this bitch is at the top." I was like, "This is hard." Like, she was really going off on that. It's just needed to be given the opportunities, I think, is most. And when she's given the opportunity, she kills it every time.
Yes. But yeah, I agree. I've really enjoyed the build for this, from All In to this show. I think that they've gotten the best out of both Tony and Athena, both in the residency here and then in the matches in the lead up to the show. And like I said, I think this match is going to be very good, but I do think that Tony is going to retain.
Yeah. Sorry. I mean, never say never.
Yeah. I just don't see. Because then what are you going to do? You're going to have Athena going into Death Before Dishonor with the world title and the Ring of Honor world title.
See, that's why you had this mudding things up, man. You had to get rid of that Ring of Honor shit because that's next week, man.
Right.
I mean, I could see not a short Athena run. No, I don't know. That doesn't make sense. No. Tony Storm.
And it's kind of the same way that I felt earlier in this year, where Tony is one of the top stars in this company. I would say she is one of the top 3 stars in the company at this point. Totally. I don't think that you end her reign at this point to Athena. I just don't see it. Mm-hmm. Like, the thing that I think makes Megan an interesting option is because that's kind of a bold move, and that's a way to really stamp somebody like Megan as somebody that we should be invested in going forward.
Totally.
Like, It's the same thing with Mercedes. Mercedes didn't really need that win. Mercedes has 8
doesn't
belts.
need to be the one to beat Tony. There needs to be somebody up and coming, and I guess that's the gift and the curse for Athena, because like she doesn't need the win, but she kind of does. You know what I mean? Like it's a weird place to be, and like people, I think there's wrestlers under her that needed more. I think is more important.
Yes, but the other part of it with Megan, because if this is me, Chris Statlander has been overdue a world title match. And
Definitely.
I think if the end goal to this is Megan winning and then moving on to eventually Megan versus Statlander, that's the move to me. You get a series of matches out of that, and then maybe you crown Statlander by the end of it. That should be the move to me.
Yeah. We're still gonna have Willow and Jamie Hayter and a couple of those women kind of waiting in the wings. I think it's the AEW women's division has a chance to really soar if they give them a chance in the rest of the year.
Yes. Speaking of Mercedes Moné will be defending the AEW TBS Championship in a fatal 4-way against Alex Windsor. And Bozilla. Bozilla is such an interesting choice to add to this match. I think she is phenomenal. I'm very happy to see her on this card. But out of all of the Stardom wrestlers, I thought coming in, I did not predict Bozilla.
That wasn't on my list. Like you said, I'm happy for her. I think she's gonna fit in well, but that wasn't who I was picking or what most people were picking. But when it happened, I was like, okay, she adds a really good element, I think, with this match, because Mercedes and Alex have this certain kind of thing. Then Bozilla is this kind of giant. Persephone is kind of in the middle because she's like, she's powerful and she's kind of a bigger build, but then she also can do that other stuff. So I don't know. Persephone, she's big fan.
Yeah. Big fan. Yeah, a lot of talent in this match. Alex Windsor has been a great addition to this women's division. She has fit in perfectly. Just the way that she's fit in as a tag team partner for Tony has been really enjoyable. Their segments together are really funny. They work really well together in matches. I thought that match with Athena on Collision was fantastic. Persephone's been great as well.
Yeah. Alex Windsor's a beast, dude. She's one of the best additions that they've had in the women's division in a while. Like she's just one of those 1,000 miles per hour wrestlers that's going to go all in, really out there trying to beat ass. Like she knows what it does, what it means to be in these positions and in matches with Mercedes and Tony Storms, and really takes advantage of it. She's incredible. She's been great.
Yeah. But yeah, I am excited to see Bozilla here, even though it's just like, wait, okay. And I'm sure you're in a tough position with the 5-star Grand Prix going on. You weren't going to be able to pull some of the wrestlers that you probably could have for this match. But I say all the time, out of all of the shows we went to during WrestleMania weekend, Bozilla versus Megan Bayne was one of my favorite matches I saw during WrestleMania weekend. So I'm very excited to see her here. I think if people don't know a lot about her, she's going to gain a lot of new fans here.
I think maybe out of everybody in Vegas, Phil, Bozilla might have had like the most presence. Like, you know, when you see a wrestler or somebody and you're like, that person's somebody. She had the most like, damn, who is that? That person is somebody. Out of everybody that we've seen, out of all companies, like she really has something about her. And she was in the ring with fucking Megan Bayne.
Yeah. When I was talking about the argument for Wrestler of the Year, I don't think we talk enough about like Gabe and the run Gabe has had this year, like having a Kenny Omega match. And then, like you said, presence during WrestleMania weekend. There was a point where almost every show we went to had a Gabe match on it.
Yeah, there was. He was traveling a lot. He was like, oh no, I got to go. I'm going to my next show.
Yeah, he was booked and busy all that weekend, and he was having good matches, great matches.
He was. He's really good.
But yeah, I'm not sure what to make of this match, because I think this could be an easy way to get the TBS title off of Mercedes moving forward.
Yep.
I wouldn't be mad at Alex Windsor winning this match.
I think
I'm not sure that I buy that though.
I think it'd be a fun move, but I think Mercedes is going to retain. I think that
That's
Mercedes is
right.
kind of in the same boat as Tony Storm, but a little different, as I feel like Athena could beat Mercedes when I don't think that Athena is going to beat Tony Storm, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, my gut feeling tells me that Mercedes is going to retain here. But I wouldn't be mad at Alex Windsor picking up the win.
I think it'd be a fun moment. Like if they need like a fun, kind of unpredictable moment, I think that might be the one for this show. And what Alex has been doing, standing next to Tony Storm, it might be a good move, but I think Mercedes is going to retain.
Yeah, and I think it would be a good way to set up the rematch with Tony as well, because having Mercedes lose at All in Texas and then getting to this pay-per-view and losing the TBS title and being as shook afterwards, like, what's going on? I'm winning everywhere else but here. I like that story, but I'm not so sure if they're going to do that just yet. No,
I think that like everybody is kind of leaning towards, I think she's going to get to 10 belts before she loses one of them.
Yeah. I think one of the sleepers on this card is going to be Kyle Fletcher versus Hiromu Takahashi for the AEW TNT Championship. I think this is going to be, like I said, a sleeper. This could be one of the better matches on this show. Hiromu is incredible. Kyle Fletcher has had a fantastic year. So very curious to see how they work together.
Kyle Fletcher has been on a fucking tear. It's like this company is there's so many heavy hitters that like he's very present and doesn't get lost, but like he's so fucking good that he could be the number one guy in this company, like with the flip of a switch. Like that's how incredible he is. I think this match with Hiromu is going to be, like Phil saying, a sleeper, kind of one we not going into it being like that could be the best match of the night, but legit give these guys fucking 18 minutes and they could have the best match of the night. Like Hiromu has had so many classics throughout his years in in New Japan, junior heavyweight division, tag team division. I think this is Kyle Fletcher encompasses all of that. So kind of putting both of these guys together, I think is going to make for a fucking banging ass match. Could be the match of the night, legit.
For sure. But I do think, of course, Kyle Fletcher is going to retain.
Fletcher. Yeah. It's an easy one.
Of course, we've got Adam Copeland and Christian Cage taking on the Matriarchy, which will be the team of Kip Sabian, and unfortunately, not Nick Wayne, because Nick Wayne suffered an injury, which they revealed this week on Dynamite. In his place will be a returning Killswitch / Luchasaurus.
Yes, I love them bringing him back. That video to show kind of the thing, I think was great. It's confusing. They're what all these guys represent is kind of confusing, Phil, because Christian's doing the heel thing, Cope is doing the babyface thing. He's telling Christian to cut it out because the fans love him, but Christian's still doing the heel thing, while Nick Wayne's doing a full-on heel thing against Christian, who was also supposed to be a heel. And then, but they're bringing back Luchasaurus to like a babyface pop. So I don't know what the elements are. I'm kind of confused about everything that's going on here. How do you feel about them? Do you think it's interesting that this is the first match of Cope and Christian and they didn't go immediately for like an FTR or a Young Bucks match?
I think it makes sense for them as a tag team to build up to the FTR match. And I think like it makes sense to have that match in Canada.
Yes.
Because these two guys, big, massive stars from Canada. And if you're going to do the FDR match, you're probably going to do it at Toronto. And I also think like it just makes sense for them as a tag team that hasn't worked together in years to have to get a match out to see if they still got chemistry and all these things first before we get to like established tag teams like FTR and Young Bucks.
That does make sense, because you don't want to go out the gate. They might have lost it. They might be like, damn, this match is blah blah blah, and you want to get one of those out first. That's just kind of unfortunate about AEW and not having their schedule. Like they don't have house show matches or matches that are beyond Dynamite where these guys can practice these things in front of a live crowd. It's like the live crowd match is the match.
Yeah. I do agree with you. There is a lot going on with this Copeland and Christian reunion. Some of it doesn't make sense, but I did really like this segment because there was a lot going into it that I did like. It's unfortunate that Nick Wayne isn't going to be able to take part in this match, but I did like the promo that he cut. I thought it was great, and I love the idea that he's learned a lot being behind this guy. He's been like, well, wait a minute, like you took my moment away from me, but I've always had a plan this entire time. That's a very Christian thing to say, that I'm one step ahead of you. I have a plan. And having the real reveal be the returning Luchasaurus, I thought this was a great way to bring him back. I thought the vignette that they aired before he came out was great. And having him come out to get revenge on Christian after all of this time makes a lot of sense. It does. And it is weird that you've got those guys as the heels still, when they're very justified in their reasons to be upset with Christian, because he was kind of holding all of those guys back. And we've been waiting all this time for Luchasaurus to get his comeuppance. Well, Christian to get his comeuppance from Luchasaurus. So, yeah, of course, the crowd is going to be happy, not just for his return, but also him finally just choke slamming Christian after all this time. Now, is it also funny that they're the heels and that's happening? Yeah, it doesn't really make sense.
Just a lot going on, and Cope is still at the top. Like, I love it here. I'm a big baby face. We're having a great time. I think it doesn't really matter though. It's all fine. They got them back together. The elements will be how they are when the match happens.
Yeah, but I did also like Copeland coming out and doing this whole bit with his theme song, and he's still doing I'm happy to be here, guys. This is great. And then Christian comes out the same way he usually does, and he's getting ready to get into his usual bit, like, shut your mouth while I'm doing my thing. And he's like, whoa. These guys like us now. Like, why are you doing that? And, he's like, yeah, I told you to figure yourself out. But in Christian's point of view, he's looking around like, why do I have to figure it out? Like, you were always a big star in WWE, and wherever you went, I had to go away to these other companies to prove I'm exactly what I said I am. And I had this renewed run with AEW where I was kind of the man. I was TNT champion. I had a shot at the world championship. What do you mean figure it out? I haven't figured out as the guy here with my turtleneck and my family and everything that I had. Nah, I was doing pretty well for myself until you showed up. What are you talking about? I don't need you. Like, why are you still acting like I need to stand next to you to be a thing? Like, and so I'm glad that he's kept that character going forward, because it wouldn't make sense if he just dropped all of this stuff and said, yeah, I'm right. I'm so happy I'm here conducting my business with Copeland. No, why would he feel that way? This whole time he's felt like, no, I'm justified in everything I'm doing.
Yeah, I do like his energy of like, I don't give a fuck about this reunion. This isn't about reunion. I've been trying to get out of your shadow for fucking 20 years and you're trying to put me back underneath it.
Because also from Christian's point of view, I'm only teaming up with you because I need you in this moment, because all of the consequences of everything I've done for the past year is finally catching up with me. And so, now I need you on my side because I have no one. I have nobody to team up with. All of my sons are turning on me. My girl is over there talking crazy about me. Like, nah, I need you now. And so, of course, he's kind of like reluctant to change anything, because why? Everything's been going pretty well for me.
This has worked for me, being this guy coming out here talking shit to these fans. Like, these are all things that have helped me get beyond you. So why are you trying to change this shit?
Yeah, before you showed up, I was TNA world champion. I had a TNT title run. I won a contract, and I was almost AEW world champion. So yeah, I think all of this makes sense. It does feel like there's a lot going on, though.
It's a lot. A lot to have to figure out, and then they're still beefing with FTR in the back. Like, it's a lot you got to keep a hold to.
Yes, but I did enjoy this segment more than I expected, and I'm very curious to see how they're gonna look as a tag team after all this time. I don't know what to make of it.
A long fucking time since they teamed up.
But these guys are going to get a massive pop on the show. They're and the eventual match in Toronto, they're going to get a huge pop as well.
It's going to be crazy. The Heat's going to be off the charts for that.
Yeah, they are going to win here, though. I just don't see a world where Kip Sabian and Luchasaurus beat them in their first match out.
Definitely. Easiest outcome.
I do think it's funny that also all this time Christian has been using this like AEW version of his NWA TNA theme without the words. I do think it would be really funny now that he's a baby face if they add the words back.
They should.
And give the crowd a chance to sing his theme song too. That would be really funny.
Oh, that's kind of a good idea. Yeah. I can see it.
Yeah. We've also got 2 world title matches on this show. We've got Zack Sabre Jr. defending the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship against Nigel McGuinness with young Dan Garcia in his corner.
What are you doing there?
Yeah, a lot of tension after that match when Nigel won, and Nigel invited Dan back in and was like, I want you in my corner. It kind of felt like some of the same energy that he was starting to show Adam Cole towards the end of their alliance. And you can see for the past few weeks that Dan is very frustrated.
Yeah.
And you can see in his face, even when he was shaking Nigel's hand, yeah, he's definitely going to turn on him.
He's tired.
Like, there's no doubt in my mind.
He's tired of being little broed. And like every time he's done a promo and expressed his frustrations with his AEW run, he's always like, I get to the big moment and I never win. So he got to the big moment and never won. And he's just kind of sulking in it. And Nigel's like, oh, no, it's fine. I won, though. You should come and be in my corner. Everything's going to be chill. I'll teach you some stuff. And you can see it in Dan's face that he's like, because it was the same way he was looking at Adam Cole of like, I don't want to be your little sidekick. I don't want to learn.
I don't want to be your little bro.
No, I want to be the guy. I want that belt. I want these opportunities. I don't need help at this point. I'm already there. And so he's getting very frustrated. And it definitely felt like he was like, yeah, I'll come and be in your corner for sure, bro. I got you. But like, I got you.
Yeah, I mean, and when you think about what this means, I think the unsaid things are very interesting here because he's been kind of on this energy since he got out of the Jericho Appreciation Society of, I'm not nobody's little bro. I'm my own guy. At one point, all of these guys were really positioning themselves to be mentors for this guy. Bryan Danielson, Chris Jericho, and he chose Jericho, and where that ended up for him. He's in a spot where he's got some massive wins under his belt. He's got some big matches under his belt. He's his own guy, and you still got all these guys trying to little bro him. Like Adam Cole's like, man, I'm so happy that we had this feud together, man. I hope everything works out for you. And he's looking around like, stop patting me on my head like I'm like y'all's son or something. And it's the same thing with Nigel. Like, yeah, Nigel's an OG, but bro, I don't need you. The guy that you famously feuded with, I beat that guy.
Yep.
Why do I need to be your little bro? And when you think about like what Zack Sabre represented for Bryan as well, they had this big show off of who is the best technical wrestler in the world. And again, Dan has got to be looking around like, wait a minute, one of the guys in that scenario, I beat that guy.
Yep.
I should be the next up in line to be facing Zack Sabre Jr. for the title of best technical wrestler in the world. Not this old guy. Get this guy out of here.
This guy's not even fully active. He's came from behind his announce desk to beat us. Like, what the fuck? Like, I'm not into this shit. And that guy's like, no, just come and be my friend and stand in my corner. It's all chill. Like, no, Daniel has been waiting for a while to really execute his moment. And I think this is coming up. And I think he's just going to work better as heel. He's always been a better heel. Like, when he became babyface and the dance and all that got over, I understood, but I was all, but this guy, though, is going to work a lot better as a heel just because of who he is.
Yeah, I definitely think that this is leading towards maybe not Daniel costing him the match, but I do think that Zach's going to beat him. And then after the match, when he's acting like he's going to comfort him, he's going to beat him down.
And if this is leading to a Daniel and Nigel match, that's hard. One-on-one.
Very excited for the idea that I think that could be a big match for Daniel Garcia moving forward. I think that he needs a reset very badly because he was in such a good spot when he won the TNT title. And then that reign just wasn't very good. And he's been kind of directionless since then. So he really needs that. So, but yeah, I think Zack Sabre Jr. is going to win this match, and
Definitely.
then Daniel Garcia is going to turn on Nigel McGuinness at the end.
Yep. But they needed to have Zack Sabre Jr. on this card, especially as the IWGP World Heavyweight Champion. It's in fucking London. Like all of this, these are all the things. Like you need to have Zack Sabre on this to represent what he represents. And then at the end of the day, it's Nigel and Zack Sabre Jr. in a one-on-one match. And these guys Nigel's been talking shit about Zack Sabre for the longest time. He can't wait to get in there with him. And Zack Sabre Jr.'s been on his dickhead run. Like this is going to be great.
Yeah, you set this up where a lot of people wanted this match after I was about to say Forbidden Door, but that was all in London last year where they had the big gauntlet match. And you had these two guys in that match. And as soon as you saw them in the ring together, it's like, okay, when are we getting that match?
Right.
So very excited that that's on this card in O2 Arena. That's big for both Nigel and Zack Sabre Jr. But yeah, I do think that Daniel Garcia is going to do something very bad by the end of this match.
That's the resolution to this is Danny Garcia as a heel. And I love it. I'm excited for it.
Yeah, it's time. But just turn him again. Get the towel back around his neck. Bring back Red Death.
Yes. Angry Danny. We're ready.
Bring back violence. I'm ready.
Then
of course we've got Hangman Adam Page versus MJF for the AEW World Championship. Because
so excited to hear your thoughts about this week, Phil.
Yeah, because of the segment this week, this is going to be a match that if Hangman gets counted out or disqualified, he will lose his title. He has officially lost all of the champion's advantages going into this match. And MJF did not use his contract to get this match. He still has the contract heading into Forbidden Door.
Why?
This segment was a choice. I think the way we got here, setting it up with Mark Briscoe early in the match, backstage before commercial break, going, "Where is this guy? I'm going to kill him." And then we get the conversation between Max and Max and Ricochet in this new group, which very much felt like, hey, we need a way to fix the fact that he's not with Hurt Syndicate anymore. It was very transparent that it was supposed to be Hurt Syndicate in this spot. But I did like the little bit of canon here that Ricochet does not like Mark Briscoe. And so for Ricochet to be like, any other time I would tell you to get lost, but I hate Mark Briscoe, so I'm in. I thought that those two things worked together. But this segment of them having Mark Briscoe tied up, and there are bits of it that I do like before I get into what I didn't like. I do like that Max is continuing to say, hey, why are you guys fans of this guy that burned somebody's house down? What if I burn this guy alive? Would you guys hate me? Or is it only him that can burn things down and you guys are happy about it? So I did like that aspect that he's continuing that. I do also like as a way to get his heat back after Hangman made him look stupid last week. He's just like, nah, man. See, this is the thing. That guy was playing as a bad guy. You thought that guy's the devil. I am the real devil. Well, don't forget where we came from with this. You wanted me to be the bad guy. You wanted me to be the main antagonist of this company. I'm going to show you a real villain. I'm going to show you real evil. I'm going to basically have this segment where I'm like the Joker in this thing. Like, oh, no. You're going to do what I asked you to do. I'm going to light this guy on fire.
I'll burn this floor.
All of that aspect I like about it. But the whole idea that this guy executed his contract to get the match, but somehow he just still had the contract. That makes absolutely no fucking sense.
Stupid.
It makes.
Why does he still have the contract?
If this was just he did that and he got Hangman to agree to give up his champion's advantage, and then you add the stipulation that if he gets disqualified or counted out, I'm fine with that. But the whole aspect that he still had the contract makes no sense.
Stupid. Yeah, the first two stipulations, I was like, I'm in. This is good. It essentially turns it into Max can do a shitty little heel thing. Hangman can't bring that Texas death match shit here. It has to be a real match. I'm with you. But as soon as he's like, and actually that thing last week, just kidding, I still have the contract. Well, why do you still have the contract if you executed it? You should not even.
That doesn't make any sense. You already executed it to get the match. It's already done. How can you then go, nope, I still have my contract? And the other part of it, what is the benefit of him still having the contract after all of this?
Yeah, I don't understand that part. That's what I need to be explained. So I'm like, but why?
Like what? Like, do you want to set up even if Max loses here, he's still a threat to Hangman because he's still lingering around with his contract?
I think that's what it is.
But what does that really do?
That's stupid. Yeah, I don't like it.
I didn't like that aspect of it.
It's like they were trying to find an out of this match. You know what I mean? That's what it felt like. They're like, okay, because I'm still on the. I think we got to this too quickly. We could have stretched this out a little bit. Like I didn't even understand why you guys are doing this at Forbidden Door. So I think they're like, okay, we got to Forbidden Door, so let's get out of it. We need to start thinking about the next one.
That was my issue. It kind of felt like they rushed into having him execute the contract in the first place. So they were trying to do a fix for it. And the fix makes less sense than anything. I just don't understand why they would do that. If you were going to still have Max as a threat with the contract, why not just have Hangman versus a New Japan wrestler on this card instead? You could have did Hangman versus any litany of guys. You could have had Hangman versus Finlay. You could have had any other thing going on here. You could have brought Shingo in. You could have did something other than this match. If the end result was going to be Max still coming out of this show with the contract.
Right. And like, I'm like if he's having it beyond it, what is this then? So like, say he wins the belt. Let's do that. Then he still has the contract for himself. Well, I don't understand what.
Yeah. And then when you add the stipulation, it worries me because it's like, all right, are we going to do some stupid way to get out of this match to protect MJF and he doesn't get pinned out of this match?
I hate it.
That's why he still has this contract. Like, I hope that's not the case, man. Yeah, I don't like the whole contract thing about it.
Well, I also thought like he loses and then immediately like he loses, beat Hangman down and then immediately cashes in. So it like happens all in the same night. You know what I mean?
But
I hate this cash-in shit. It's fucking stupid. That's
what's the point of that? Like, if you just have him lose twice, like, what is the point of re-adding the contract to the mix? I feel like the entire benefit of him having a contract is having him to be still looming over this Hangman title reign. If this is just to go, oh well, he executed the contract. Well, actually, no, he didn't. But he's going to execute the contract in the same night anyway and lose. That makes even less sense. That's stupid as fuck.
I hate all of it. I don't know how we got back to this. We were just mad at Christian for like months with this stupid ass contract. How did we get back to this?
Yeah.
And then they got out of it last week, Phil. We were done. We were finished. We were moving on. And they were like, nope, just kidding. We're back.
Yeah. I think it was a mistake to have both of the gauntlet winners use their contract to have their match on this pay-per-view. I think you should have set up another challenger for Hangman at the very least, and then you could have used the contract later on.
Yep.
But
it just makes more sense for Max's character to have that contract and to be terrorizing Hangman for longer. He wouldn't immediately be like, yeah. And now they're convoluting it. Like, you should have never gave him the Forbidden Door match if you were going beyond this. I just don't really. Yeah. I'm confused.
I don't like the element. Something I do think would be really funny though, and I don't think they're going to do it because it would make sense. I do think it would be funny if Hangman does beat him and then he's like, yo, you want to see me set something on fire? Snatches the paper off of it, and lights it on fire right in front of him and throws it in his face. I think that'd be really funny.
Good. That's funny. You want to see me set something on fire and lights it on fire? I would be into that, but I don't think they'll do that. But that's hilarious.
No. I think that would be really funny. Him lighting it on fire and then fucking Max just shows up with a new contract next week like he didn't do it. I think that would be really, really funny. But yeah, the whole contract and the cash in stuff to this I thought was completely nonsensical.
Hated it.
like, I just think that the segment ended up being kind of overdone. I think it was overridden. Like,
Yes.
again, if
Yes,
it
yes.
was just him saying, all right, you're going to give me the advantage in this match, and so you could be disqualified, I can cheat, and you can still lose, that's fine. But the
Yes.
rest of this, I didn't need it.
Yeah, I mean, I think we needed a segment of Max getting his heat back because you don't want to go into the show without him having any heat. But the contract thing fucked everything up. Like, you could, if you would have did everything else and that was it, it would have been fine. But at the end, like, and then none of this actually is going to matter because I'm still going to have the contract. Awful.
And by the way, I still have my contract. I don't like that aspect.
Nothing's going to matter on Sunday because I'm still going to have the contract. It's like, that takes. Well, why did you do that?
Yeah. Somebody explained to me, like, what does executing a contract mean? Because he executed the contract to get the match already. That's not how a contract works. You can't just unexecute a contract.
Nope. No. So, and then so he loses tomorrow, and then he grabs the mic and he's like, "Well, I want another match because I have this next month."
Yeah. I do. Yeah, I do think the Hangman's gonna win here. Yes. I think Hangman. It's way too soon to take the belt off Hangman, especially given the way that he won the belt. I think the Hangman's gonna win here, and he's gonna walk out with the belt held high, and Max is just gonna lay in the ring and roll over and smile. And he's just gonna pick that contract up and wave it at him like, "No, we're still not done here," and that's fine. I just still hate how we got here.
Do you think they're gonna go right back to it or sometime in between? Like, you think Max is gonna then hold on to it for longer, or is he immediately gonna be like, "I'll see you at All Out, motherfucker"?
I hope not.
Yeah, me neither. I hate it. Even coming out of my mouth, like, that sounds awful.
I hope not.
All this sucks.
Yeah. I assume that this means he's just gonna hold on to that contract and cash in later this year, like at All In. Or sorry, not All Out, but at
World's End.
World's End.
Yeah. It's just like, what was this part then?
No.
That's what I'm gonna continuously think. What was that?
Yeah. I just don't think they should have done. I don't think they should have had him execute the contract if they still wanted it on the table. Just doesn't make sense.
And that now I want to go back to last week because I was like, that promo wasn't that bad because they got to something. And now I'm like, okay, that I knew I didn't like that promo last week. Something about it. I was like, I don't, something about this that I don't like. And then I was like, well, they got to the title match, so it's fine. But then they just erased that last week. So it's like, I knew I didn't like that shit for a reason.
Yeah. Then you've got like the awkwardness of the how quickly they ended the Hurt Syndicate stuff. It's a lot about this time. Like, what's going on now? Ricochet ended up being the MVP out of all of this. When fucking Hangman runs back there and he's got a hand up, and he's got that big cry face. Oh, like, no, leave me alone. All of that was fucking hilarious.
Ricochet has been amazing. I hope they get back to his push that they were having post the Continental Classic, because I think he still is representing something great. And seeing that this week, I'm like, he could be a challenger for Hangman too if they give him a shot.
Yeah.
Hangman Adam Page is winning the match, though. That's it. That's all I know.
Hangman will win, and I have no doubt that this will be a pretty good match because these two don't have bad matches together.
Right.
But I just don't understand why they did this.
I didn't like it this week. Hated it. It was too much.
But yeah, this looks like a pretty strong card overall. I am excited for several matches on this show. Should be a good one. Again, looking forward to afternoon pay-per-view. Should be a good one. You guys doing a watch along?
Yep. Denise and I will be live. I'll be live here 10 a.m. my time. Like I said, less than 24 hours to talk about this show. I'm sure it'll be a very long one. It's going to be exciting. A lot of great matches. I'm sure they'll add a couple of more things probably tonight on Collision. Yeah, it wasn't the best build to get to this pay-per-view, and I think there's a couple of things that could have been done more to garner a little bit more interest. But the card really came together, and I think that everybody on it is going to execute, and we're going to come out of this being like, damn, that was another great AEW show, even though we talked all that shit, just because that's what they do.
Yeah.
I'm excited about it. Check us out.
Yeah. I forgot also with this Max stuff. We do still have Bobby waiting in the wings. I don't know if Bobby cost him his next cash in attempt. Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. But yeah, all very convoluted.
It's I thought they had it last week. I'm like, you guys did it. Okay, we're getting to the match. This week was just see you on Sunday, motherfucker, but they didn't do that. And I understand. Do we have more Humper chats?
Yeah. Send us your super chats.
Yep.
Nope. Damn, am I lagging?
Possibly. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes. I think it's a little bit laggy, but it's fine.
Yeah, send us in your super chats. Last call for super chats and Humper chats before we get on up out of here.
Definitely. I'm going to get into a last of the super chats and last of the Humper chats, and then that will be it. Appreciate y'all. LaRon Ford says, hot take, the wrong match went to a time limit draw on this week's Dynamite. They should have done a time limit draw in the main event. Yeah, the time limit draw, like I said, the announcing the times kind of takes me out of it. They need to figure out a way to kind of curb that. But I think that the match was great, and I don't know. I kind of like them having definitive finishes to all the women's stuff. Like they've given Athena wins over Tony and stuff like that. Like I think it's worth a little bit more for them to have that.
Yeah, I don't really understand why the time limit draw would have worked in the main event, because I think the whole point here is that at every step of the way, Athena has outsmarted Tony. I think the point is to make Athena look dangerous going into their match at the pay-per-view, because at any point she could hit that O face and win. Exactly. But at the same time, she keeps hitting the O face on Tony when she's not expecting it, because this is twice now where she's used the blind tag to catch her off guard with it.
Yeah, every time she's got it, it's gotten her off guard, which they're trying to tell, like, when it comes down to one-on-one and there's no distractions, it's going to be a different story.
Yes.
LaRon also says, what are the odds of Tony main eventing on AEW pay-per-view before she drops the title? Before she drops the title, I'd say odds are pretty low. In general, I think she definitely will.
Yeah, it's messed up, because I think the best chance to main event this year was the Mariah match.
Yep. It was there. It was all set up. It was teed up. I think the easiest main event has ever been. And I don't know if we'll get back to it so quickly is what I'm saying.
Yeah, I still think that it was a mistake to not give them the main event on that show. Even coming after the fact, and they're doing the, well, we didn't know if Mariah was going to resign. I still think they should have gave him the main event.
I think it would have worked out. I think it was a misstep, and I think they should have gave him the main event, especially after how it went. Like, we could have that would have been the end, and whatever happens afterwards would have been what it was.
We got that Death Riders main event that wasn't good too. Yeah. They should just gave the women the main event.
Damn. We left with that sour taste in our mouth, and we wouldn't have had the sour taste in our mouth if they would have ended with the women. Yep. But it's gonna happen, LaRon. I don't know if it'll happen in the next couple months,
Yeah.
Deontay Swanee also says MJF still having the contract is dumb. Now, if he tries to use afterwards and fails, he looks stupid, losing twice. Either way, it's dumb as fuck, especially if Briscoe cost him the title shot anyway. Goofy-ish.
Yeah, I don't like it.
This contract is always this shit. That's why, because it always gets to that. It's always something. Anytime there's something looming, like another title shot or another title match or anything that affects the match that's happening now, I hate that. And that's just what the contract is. It's going to continuously be like, well, there's still the money there's still the fucking Casino Gauntlet contract that is going to be looming there. And I don't like it. We shouldn't even be associating cash in with the AEW. Like, you guys did this to yourself. Appreciate that, Deontay. LaRon Ford also says, I hope at next year's Forbidden Door, both world champions face non-AEW opponents.
Me too.
I thought Hangman for sure would at least get one. That's why when they immediately started getting to the Max stuff, I was like, okay, I didn't think you would get to it so quite quickly, but I understand because that's a big match and you want to kind of continue the momentum that Hangman Page has. But I agree with you, LaRon. I hope it's like that too next year. Deontay Soignier also says, I'd even have Mark Briscoe steal the contract and threaten to light it on fire, and that's how he loses. He can't cash in because Mark has it.
But how would Mark get it? Mark's gonna talk him into putting it on a line in a match. But why would he do that?
Doesn't play to MJF's character.
No.
So they painted themselves into this corner, and we'll see how they get themselves out. I appreciate that, Deontay. Love for Boost says Hangman squashes him like Mox did Punk. Then MJF gets mad and signs the contract, or MJF uses the ring early and gets DQ'd, then signs the contract.
Oh, yeah, I didn't even think that. I didn't even think about that. He could just like use the ring and beat him down and get himself disqualified.
Yeah, but that sucks.
And then use the contract to restart the match. I hope that they don't do that. I really hope they don't do that.
Like, just do a match and have a definitive fucking winner. Don't do this fucking angle bullshit. But I mean, Max is a wild card. He probably might like that. So who knows? Appreciate that, Left Breeze. Those are some ideas. Shane Monster says Cerise should be on this card. Wrecking Fools.
I agree.
Yeah, I thought that maybe they'd have a couple of more Japanese women on this card or given the opportunity to, but I understand with the climate of the tournaments and stuff that they were running over there.
Yeah.
Rovan F2 says, I feel like MJF accepted a challenge from Hangman as opposed to executing his contract.
No, but the whole point of the segment last week was, hey, if you want this match, you better execute this contract. And he was like, fine, I'm going to execute it. The end of the segment was him going, fine, I want the match. I'm executing my contract. See you at Forbidden Door.
Mm-hmm. Then he bit his lip and they cut to something else. Like, it felt like that was it. And maybe they didn't like what happened last week and they were like, we need to change it. But whatever happened, some got mixed up.
Yeah.
Appreciate that, Rovan. Speed Punk says GCW Homecoming Night 1 tonight. KJ Orso versus Effie for the GCW World Title. Who you got for the win? KJ, formerly Fuego del Sol, if none of you people know, has been on a tear in GCW. He's been talking a lot. He's been winning a lot of championships. This could be like, it feels like they could set up the win for him tonight, but I just don't. I think Effie still has a couple of more things to conquer and a couple of more ways to go. So I think he's going to retain the GCW World Championship tonight.
Yeah, I think Effie's going to win as well.
That's tonight. Are they overseas? I don't even know. Shout out to you, Speed Punk. I definitely will check that out. And then Love for Boost says, oh shit, Tony got over using the chicken wing. She's going to counter the O-face with the chicken wing and make her tap.
Yeah. And then you've got a champion going into a match next week, defending her belt against another champion.
A champion that just lost on pay-per-view to a better champion.
Yeah, the GCW show, people are saying in the chat, is in Atlantic City.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Atlantic City. I love that. Appreciate that, Love for Boost. That should be a pretty fun finish. That's probably definitely going to come up. And then Deontay Soignier says, I was saying Mark can steal the contract, which is dumb, but this whole thing is dumb. Mark versus MJF at All Out might be looming the other way.
Oh, I see what you mean. Like, he goes to execute the contract later after he loses, and Mark it's not there. Mark has stolen it.
Or like the one time, remember when Christian had the contract and he came down one time to execute it, and then Kip Stavian just stole his pin, and then he couldn't.
Yeah.
That was dumb. Let's not do that again. I appreciate you,
Please.
Deontay.
Yeah. I just thought about it, which I thought was very funny. You see your boy Drake is he's doing a big interview coming up.
I did.
I don't know why.
Outlet chooses.
I don't know why people keep falling for this woman trolling, because she's clearly trolling. Her whole bit is comedy, and
Yes.
she does the interviews and acts like she's not interested in an interview or she doesn't know anything about the guest. When this is clearly a bit, she's clearly trolling. And so she did this clip earlier this year where she was like, "Yeah, I didn't expect my downfall to go this way. I'm retiring." And I was like, "Yeah, this is a bit. She's not actually retiring. When you look at her page, she's still got hundreds of thousands of subscribers. Her videos do very well. So I did buy that. So the end goal to this, though, the end result of this being that she's getting another Drake interview after this other Drake interview, the first one that put her on the map, mysteriously disappeared. And we still don't have an explanation as to what happened to that interview. Maybe that'll be addressed here. But yeah, all of this is very bizarre. Her going away and coming back and doing a big rollout for, look, it's me and Drake again, laying in a bed, doing an interview.
Yeah. Right back to it. I mean, we've seen how he's been moving this last couple, whatever, and him not going to hip hop outlets anymore makes a lot of sense, because what are they going to ask if you go to those outlets? So I see why he's going to where he's going.
He's not going to somebody like Elliot or some of these other outlets that are going to ask him about this lawsuit. He's not going to do that.
Nope.
He's going somewhere where he can go and play aloof and get to have fun with the internet and the interview, and
control the narrative.
Yeah, I did not think out of all of this that Bobby Altoff was going to be the outlet. I do think that in itself is pretty funny, because he continues to troll people. She continues to troll people. And yeah, the outcome of all of this, people are like, haha, she's down bad. And she's probably going to do one of the biggest interviews of the year. Out of all of this is, jokes on everybody. Gotcha. Ha 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 ha. Isn't it funny? Ha ha ha.
She's retired. They really showed her. Now she's going to get a gazillion views on her next interview that people are going to aggregate and talk about forever. And it's going to be mentioned in raps and all kind of shit.
Yeah. Jeremy Heck, I saw, alluded to it. Elliot with 2 T's is probably going to be very salty, and he's going to do a whole rant about why is this guy doing this? Why are rappers not going to real outlets anymore? And it's going to be the same cycle. Once rinse, watch, and repeat. To go back to the beginning of this podcast, Elliot, it doesn't matter.
It don't
Denzel's
matter.
told you to move.
Yep.
This is the era of streamers and all the rest of this stuff. It don't matter.
Your accolades don't mean shit, Elliot. We want him to. I want him to so bad, but like not to this guy. Like you're not going to get the big Drake interview anymore. That's just not how the game works.
It don't matter. Complex told us Kai Cenat is the #1 guy in your space. Again, like Denzel said, you ain't got to be good. You just got to have a following. You just got to have a following.
I just couldn't imagine being like academics or like Maul. And like having these big platforms that you spend your life just fighting for this guy. Like all you ever do is put on your cape for this guy, and he won't look your fucking way.
He won't even come over. He won't do nothing for your outlet. He goes straight over there back to Bobby. Maul has been clapping it up for this guy, clapping cheeks for this guy all year. And he ain't looked his way, ain't been like, hey man, I'll come over there and do y'all pie. And the funny thing about it is that would be such a petty, great move for him to do that, because he's been throwing shots at Joe all year. So for them to get that interview and he can sit there and kiki with him, yeah, that would be great. But he don't give a fuck about you.
You don't care about them now.
He's not about to do no academics interview.
That's my favorite part. I'm like, dude, these guys they dedicated their careers to defending this guy, and he won't spit their way.
Yeah, it's almost.
Yep.
Yeah, It's almost as funny as some of the clapping we see in our space, and that company won't even look their way.
I'm just like, all that for that? Yeah, no, that's a thing.
Yeah. I thought it was so funny because I was podcasting when I saw the Bobby Altoff thing pop up on my screen as a notification, and I was looking like, wait, what? I guess.
Like, I don't do no interviews ever, and then I'm coming back to do an interview with this person. Like, that's like, God. Like, what are you?
After this other one mysteriously disappeared, and we still don't have any answer as to what happened with that one.
And his fans are like, well, what do you guys expect? This is how hip hop media has treated him. What do you? I'm like, no, he caused this though. It wasn't just for nothing. And there's still a bunch of people in the space that would die to have that interview. They would kill. They would do all the things in the world to have that interview.
If all of this has been, I'm not getting a fair shake from hip hop media, shouldn't the move be, let me go talk to one of these guys and clarify what this is and tell you guys why you're wrong?
That's what I thought.
No, but that don't matter, because again, let me go over here and jokey joke in this interview with us laying in bed. Yeah.
Those guys aren't number one on the fucking hip hop moguls power list or whatever. Why the fuck would I talk to them?
Yeah. Then you got Kai that's like, I don't want to be anywhere near this Aiden Ross guy because his people jump in my chat and start making monkey jokes and racist jokes. And I'm like, yeah, well, go figure that.
Like, these guys are awful human beings. Like, every time I see this Neon guy or whatever, I'm like, why do they keep platforming this guy?
Yeah.
And then they always shout, like, hey, talk about your horrible, awful past where you called us monkeys 2 weeks ago. And I'm like, why are you, what is this?
Why are you entertaining this? But that's, again, the joke's on all of us and how this went. Aiden Ross got a Breakfast Club interview. Breakfast Club is not getting a Drake interview.
They're not.
No, you getting it?
Like, they are not.
What is it? What is this? Yeah. Nasty.
And again, these are outlets that would Breakfast Club would fucking do unimaginable things to have a Drake interview.
They would
unimaginable things. They
would do crazy numbers if they got Drake.
Yep.
At this point, anybody's going to do crazy numbers if they get Drake.
Yeah, definitely. That's why this whole thing is funny, because like you're just guaranteeing her numbers, and she's not going to do anything.
Yeah, all of this is absolutely nuts. And then you have some of these outlets. They're saying all these things about Kendrick, and they'll be like, well, Kendrick didn't say anything. He hasn't done any interviews. He hasn't said anything. He's just dropped music.
Kendrick ain't talked to nobody.
No,
he did that 10-minute interview for the Super Bowl, and that was it.
Bro, he dropped his music when did like one of the most viewed Super Bowl halftime shows of the year, went on his tour and went about his business.
They gotta quit. This made me think about Michael Beasley. They gotta quit talking to this guy. Again, shut all the mics down, I think.
Wait, what?
You didn't see that clip of Michael Beasley talking on his pod with the homie Simba, the rapper from, and he's like, don't nobody be bumping not like us. Like, it's been a year. People don't play. Like, nobody was playing Hit 'Em Up a year later in the club. Like, it's a moment. It doesn't represent what you is. And I fucking hate that. If I could go the rest of my life without hearing nobody ever plays blah blah blah, or when I'm in a spot blah blah blah,
and it's a lie.
It's a big fucking lie.
And it's a lie. I still hear Not Like Us all the time. It's still one of the biggest. It's still one of the biggest songs ever. It's still the biggest song of his career. What are you talking about?
It died. Nobody listened to that anymore. Nobody playing that.
It died after a year of it being in heavy rotation. I don't think that's the flex you think it is, my guy.
Not a flex.
And it's not even true.
It's not true.
It's not even fucking true. Yeah,
I just saw people being mad at him for being nominated for some kind of awards, and they're like, "It's been so long. Why are they still talking about Not Like Us?" And I was like, "Because it hasn't been that long."
Well, for one thing, it's not true. And the guy just won hella Grammys for this song earlier this year.
on this gigantic tour.
Talking
too.
about?
I mean, a lot of people like nobody's checking for Kendrick yet because he's out on tour selling out all the
shows.
shows.
And we've seen all these videos of him doing Not Like Us on the tour and like all these reactions to it. Man, we just seen this guy get a reaction to him doing that song at the Super Bowl and the Grammys, and you're trying to tell us that song ain't even that big. Nah, I think this is a crazy argument to make. Trying to do the nobody plays that record with this record that was huge for him. Like what are we doing, man? Yeah, that was
gigantic record. It's dumb. It's out.
That was in the why are we doing this camp with Fabio being like, nah, man, Jim, you are the guy. Like Fabio, dog. Fabio. Come on, dog.
They was bringing up his age. I was rolling. They're like, you 35 and you was listening to
bro. First of all, why are we still doing this Jim Jones Nas thing? I don't know why this is still a thing. And Fabio just had a fucking hit with Nas.
He did. That was absurd. And he said, he's like, oh, I've done a song with Nas, but I don't really be checking for him like that. I'm like,
bro, the whole argument was Nas don't have club records. He don't have big records. Bro, they played Spicy out. Spicy was played outside.
You're on the song.
If Fabio was on the song. Dog, if I was Nas, and Nas should never respond to any of this.
No.
But it would have been hilarious if he was just on his IG drinking a drink and he had Spicy playing in the background. That would have been hilarious.
But he don't get into the mud. That's the thing.
He's too old to be doing that, man.
He don't need to. Hip hop.
That would be like Hov responding to all of these people like, man, Hov, don't nobody listen to Hov music no more. He's trash. Like, why would he respond to any of that?
Hov might be dropping. I saw a piece of Memphis's Drink Champs, and he's like, oh yeah, he's working. I'm like, oh, is he?
I've been of that opinion for a while. I think he's been quietly recording.
Mm-hmm.
We'll know for sure if he cuts his hair. He comes back out with the fresh Caesar. I'm like, oh yeah, we're back.
And he's from the surprise release family, thanks to his wife, who goddamn set the world on fire. So it could come at any time.
Yeah, that would be very funny though if he popped back outside. I've been enjoying some of the memes of the last few weeks. Like every time people post the Ron Browse record and they're like, yeah, this is what Hov is on his Death of Auto Tune shit because y'all were out of control. Yeah, them Ron Browse records were horrible, bro.
Good boy.
Horrible, bro. Like him trying to turn Ether into this rollout for him, and then he came out with some of the worst hip hop records ever. Like, nah,
terrible. Dog. Awful, god awful records. Like they make me sad when I hear them. That's how bad they are.
Yeah, and I was at the time saying Jumping Out the Window was trash, and I remember at the time people were like, "Nah, you bugging." I'm like, "No, I'm not. This shit is trash."
Absolutely terrible. We got another super chat. Unky Boogie Pop says, "I think Hangman wins clean. Ricochet and Gates of Agony beat down Hanger, so MJF can execute his contract." Hanger intentionally DQs himself to retain. That's way too convoluted.
Yeah, I don't want it.
Like I hear y'all, like it could be a thing, and like this is up Max's alley, but just don't. Maybe
no.
You know what I mean?
Please don't.
Just have the match. Somebody wins, and then that's it. We move forward.
Yeah, please don't. Please don't do that.
I think it'll have a lot to do with match placement. Like if they're at the end of the night, there's going to be some bullshit. But if this match is like in the middle of the card, it's going to be fine.
Yeah. I think it's going to be the main event though. Because what else is going to main event?
It's the AEW World Championship. Why wouldn't it be?
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Let me double check and see if we have any more Humper chats before we slide up out of here.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, maybe the lights out match will be the main event. That's right. I forgot because it's unsanctioned, so it's gonna probably go on last.
Yeah, that's right. And I kind of feel like they might do the whole stretcher out for good. They might like do the thing on Will Ospreay and ending the show with dead Will Ospreay might be the way to go. You know.
Yeah, him ending up copying his hero and getting stretched out at the end of pay-per-view like Danielson would be pretty funny.
So yeah, I see the vision. Shout out to Danielson on commentary this week too. Very refreshing.
He was great. I think a lot of times you get a wrestler on commentary and they feel like they have to talk a lot, and they end up talking over commentary a lot. And he was a perfect fit because he felt like a member of the commentary team. It didn't feel like Brian Danielson doing commentary, so he had to be on the entire time.
Now he was really just like being an analyst and adding into the times he thought he needed to. Great, of course. Why wouldn't he be?
Yeah, one of the funniest moments of the night though was Ospreay putting over Sasha's Rose. He's like, none of that vegan crap, and he stood up like he was about to jump in the ring. Like, what'd you say? And he's like, no. All right, hold on.
Yes, I love everybody teasing Brian, specifically Wheeler Yuta, who keeps doing all of his moves to try to taunt him out of retirement. Thanks, Yuta. Keep doing it. You son of a bitch.
Yuta is hilarious, bro. That was also very funny when Mox finally comes down there to confront Ospreay, and Ospreay, and like this bloke that won't go get a haircut and his other friends. Like it's very funny that Yuta at this point seems like he's trying to rub everybody else in Death Rider's nose in it that he has hair. Like, you gotta get growing hair. Look at me combing all my hair.
You guys are all bald, and I can't stop growing hair. It's coming out of everywhere. Genuine heat getter, that boy Yuta, man. They hate them some Yuta. I love it.
Yeah. He's one of those guys that I want to see get a good run in the Continental Classic this year.
Yeah, me too. Well deserved.
But yeah, that's all of our Humper Chats. That's all of our Super Chats. Appreciate you guys tuning in this week. Appreciate all of your Humper Chats and Super Chats. We will be back next Saturday at our same time period, reviewing Forbidden Door and talking the Graps. But until then, this is
the WWE show's on Sunday, right? We're not being counter programmed. Clash, the 31st.
Is it?
Yes, it's Sunday. Okay. Is it?
Okay.
Yeah, it's like a Sunday. So we're not being counter programmed.
But yeah, appreciate you guys. This has been Phil Lindsey, Righteous Reg, Grapsody. As usual, we are out of here.
Peace.